There we go. Okay. Sorry, I had a technical malfunction. The accursed screen is back, Luke jump scare. Hey, what's up, Alex? Nice to see you back. What's up, Lil Puddin'? Yeah, I understand that this screen might be concerning to you, but check this out. Ooh, ooh, look at that. Now you can stare at that. You can stare at that while I talk about stuff. Now that is hype. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. Oh no, we're gonna die. No, no, you're not gonna die. I mean, not yet. Not yet anyway. Massacards isn't for sale yet, but when it is, then you'll die, maybe. What's up, Zach Boss Eye? Welcome back. Glad you could make it. Now we need a podcaster role. Oh, don't even bother. Don't even bother making a role like that. It's not. It wouldn't fit in the right time period, would it? I think I said something. There was something I said to a random commenter on YouTube. I can't remember who it was. I said that Massacards canonically takes place in the 1860s. But the thing about that is, it doesn't take place in the 1860s of our Earth. Like the Massacards universe, it takes place on Earth, but it does not take place in the same universe or timeline or anything like that as us, as regular Earth, regular time. And the development of weapons advanced a lot further. Development of other things like advanced slower. So like really just a lot of things happened differently. But as far as the actual year goes, it takes place in the 1860s, approximately. I don't have an exact year for that. That was a really long-winded explanation of me talking about, you know, things that are probably not going to be relevant in this podcast-like thing at all. I needed a way to use the name the storyteller. Looks like will be the podcaster role. All right, little puddin'. I mean, you can make a podcaster role and put it in the Discord server. Um, but if it does eventually make it onto this podcast, then I will, have to rename it. Unfortunately. Okay, so it looks like we have 6 people here. I'll wait a little bit longer before I get into the meat of it, but chances are all of this will be going on YouTube anyway. um, just because I don't want to leave anything cut from something like this. I think that pretty much everything I talk about will be relatively important. I mean, especially for the lore people. I mean, I'm going to be saying stuff that like may or may not confirm lore things. I mean, I've already done that, I guess. Um, you know what? Like while we're waiting for people to trickle in, I'll just talk more about that weapons thing I was talking about. So like you know how in Massacards there really aren't many characters that can shoot a gun more than once. There's actually a lore based reason for that, and that's because the development of firearms in the Massacards universe is way different than on Earth. And that's why, the designs of guns, like the privatized pistol and the vigilante's revolver, they all look like in a silhouette like they look, like relatively modern firearms, and even like the Survivor, that looks like a modern shotgun. But this is the 1860s, where like none of these existed yet, especially like, like a silenced modern looking pistol thing, like that did not exist in the 1860s. And yeah, but like the whole thing is like, um guns evolved in a very strange way in the Massacards universe, where like guns don't use gunpowder or like the modern equivalent of gunpowder to fire. They actually use a unique substance that's exclusive to the Massacards world, and that makes them very powerful. And the governments and kingdoms, like, because both exist in the Massacards world, they all kind of agreed that guns should be limited. Um, like guns should be limited in such a way where like it would be really hard to fire more than once, just because of how dangerous they could possibly be for both the user and anyone who just happens to be around. Obviously, they are a gun. They are meant to shoot, injure, possibly murder people. Um, but it's really hard to come across a gun in the Massacreds universe in general. Typically, like, you have to be hired into a specific position in order to get your hands on a gun. And yeah, there really are not many. And so, like, the characters that do have guns, um, like it's a pretty rare thing, and they're totally able to have the gun with them because it's part of their profession. It's part of their job, and they've been trained for probably years and years and years just to handle this gun. But yeah, so like obviously, most of the time they hit their target. They're way more accurate than say like a stormtrooper, but like they're not going to hit every single shot because no human is perfect. But yeah, like you can only see the silhouettes of the guns, but if I were to like draw a detailed picture of how the guns look, you would see that there are a lot of mechanical and visual differences. And part of the reason that they're designed that way is just to appeal to a larger audience so they know what's happening. But also like um it's something that like I want it to resemble Earth, but it's not quite Earth. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different than Earth. You don't need to reload if you don't miss. Exactly. Exactly. These people are so good that they miss very rarely, and if they do miss, like something's gone wrong. More proof these cards are the ideas of these rules. Agreed. Yeah. And Massacre wants some of that gun stuff, maybe. Well, yeah. I mean, Massacre is a pretty powerful person. I'm not saying that he doesn't own a gun, but he sure doesn't choose to use one. Um, that's another thing, actually. That's another thing about this universe in general, is that because firearms have been so limited and so rarely even produced, bladed combat and other forms of murder are way more common. Like things like poison and, yeah, and obviously knives, bladed weapons. Those are a big one. They're really common for like someone who is just trying to commit a murder. But it also has forced people to get a bit more creative. Take the alchemist, for example. I mean, I'm sure you could call that a poison, but it's a very discreet poison. It's a special poison. Yeah, so it just goes to show, like, I've thought about this world a lot, and yeah. Hey, what's up, that math boy? How's it going? Hey, what's up, Chili Dup? Chili Dup? Hi, yeah, Chili Dup, I can see you. I can see the chat. I have a window with the chat open currently. Um, Oh yeah, and just so everyone knows, I do have the chat limited. I have the most strict Twitch options. So if you say anything remotely naughty, it'll censor you. But that shouldn't be an issue. All right, nice one, Alex. That's a good one. Nice loophole. Um. All right. You know what? I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about how I plan on doing this because I have a really specific way I plan on doing this. So in front of me right now, I have a few things. Firstly, I have the actual document that I have been using to document all of the fan-made roles that have been sent to me. Whether that be through the Discord channels or through YouTube comments. Like, I'm pretty sure I have them all, but it wouldn't surprise me if I missed a couple here or there because recently, uh, especially the Discord server has been going crazy with making fan made roles. Um, so much so that we just hit 200 like a few days ago, but now we have over 300. So, so you guys have been busy. Um, and I don't blame you. I mean, it's really cool. It's really fun to see all of these new ideas. Um, but it is a lot. It's a daily task. It's a daily task for me to write down all of the stuff that you guys sent me. So it's a little bit of a to do, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it a lot. So that's the first thing I have in front of me. Next thing I have is the box. I have my personal copy of Massacards Grandest Party Edition right next to me, in case I need to reference it for comparing it to any role that is given an idea. Like some roles will be similar, and like some roles will be like not similar at all. Oh, Dat Math Boy asks, if they all become official roles, I don't think any social deduction game can even come close to your roll count, given that all roles are original. Yeah. Say I added all 300 plus fan made roles that you guys added. I don't think anyone would be able to surpass that. That would be too much. Hey, what's up, Sci-I? Welcome. Glad you could make it. You're a pretty prominent figure, Sci-I. Lil Puddin as well. Lil Puddin, Sci-I. You guys have made a lot of roles between the two of you. So I'm glad that you two are here. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, if I was to add all 300 plus roles that you guys made, no hidden role game would come close. And even right now with just 200 roles, we are well above any hidden role game that exists, as far as I know. I think the thing that comes closest is uh, Blood on the Clock Tower. And Blood on the Clock Tower, like a good chunk of Blood on the Clock Tower's roles are not like official. They're just like in testing or whatever. And I'm sure that they will become like ironed out and real later. But like even with those roles included, I'm still like I think 40 plus roles ahead of them. So if I add any more, I'll just be extending my lead. And I'm proud of that because I did design this game, with the intention of being the ultimate hidden role game that any hidden role gamer can look at and be like, wow, this has something for me in it. Uh, you won't be the highest roll count game currently. You will be the highest ever. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, I would love someone to prove me wrong, though. I'd love someone to find a hidden role game that has more than 200 rolls in it right now, and whatever that roll count is, I'll make it my goal to beat it. Whether that be through the help of you guys or just me creating more rolls myself. Make sure to contact the Guinness Committee once you get to printing. Would they recognize something like that? Maybe. Maybe they would. That's a good idea, Alex. That math boy. Actually, there's this thing called Deck of Astral Rolls, but they're all pretty similar. What are you? Oh, you should send a link to that in the Discord or something. I'll have to check it out. If it has more than 200 rolls, I'll beat it. Hey, what's up, Skywolf225 Games? Welcome to the chat. Glad you're here. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Uh, that's my little tangent on like how awesome Massacards is. So yeah, I have the box. I have Grandest Party Edition right next to me, just in case I need to reference it, or if someone compares it to a different role. What's on the agenda for today? We are going to talk about fan-made roles that you guys in the Discord channel and YouTube have suggested. 300? Yeah. Yeah. Alex says Deck of Astral plans to have 1,000 rolls. Really? 1,000? Is it a game? Like what is it? Is it like a tarot deck type thing, or like 1,000? Am I gonna have to make 1,000 rolls, or I guess 800 more rolls in order to surpass it? I mean, that sounds like such a daunting task. That sounds like such a thing. I don't know. There's some dupes, so that brings it down to 900-ish. I can do it. I appreciate the support. Well, you know what? I mean, like, I've been working on this game for almost 10 years, right? And like, I have like this most recent version of the game that you guys know that I've made tutorials for and everything. Like, this is the most solid and final version of the game that I've made, and I think like I'll never stop working on it. That's something that I believe. Like, you know, I've been working on it for 10 years, and if I stopped working on it, I don't know what I would do with myself. Like, I don't know, like, it's been such a big part of my life, and it's been like there like the entire time, and it would be really hard to just cold turkey stop working on it. 200 is really good if all of them are unique-ish. Yes, you're right. Oh, hey, what's up, Alex SC750? Glad you could be here. Make 800 alternate versions of the balancer. You can do it. That's a great idea, Sci-I. You have a really good point. Are you writing down everything about the fan roles as they come out? Do you use copy and paste? I am writing down everything as I see them. I write down everything as I see them, and because of that, if you guys have gone back and edited some of your roles, and I had like already like written it down before that point, then I might not have the most up-to-date version of your roles. That is something I was going to talk about. So sorry, like, if I have the wrong version of your role here, like, written down. And I do not use copy and paste. I actually write them down abbreviation style. Like, I have my own language when it comes to writing roles, because like I've written so many of them that like I have a language here. Like, I abbreviate light ability as L, and I abbreviate dark ability as D, and like things like that. So like, I don't copy and paste. I just write everything down in a language that I can understand, and like, hopefully I didn't write anything down wrong. I guess that's also possible. Lil Puddin says, just buy 5 packs and you'll have 1,000. So true. You'll have more than 1,000, because, you know, you get a few bystanders as well. You get 10 bystanders in every box. So there you go. Alex says, can't wait for the Massacards fan meetup with a limited number of seats. Everyone gets a number, and the number determines their role in the Massacards all roles mode. Oh! So this has been something that's been brought up a lot, actually, like an all roles mode, or like a legacy mode, or something that, like, you know, can use that much players. I just want you guys to realize that every person playing has 3 clue cards in their hand, and every clue card has a unique piece of text on it, and they all need to be balanced for discussion and like gradual revealing of the clue cards. So if you wanted to include 200 players in a game of Massacards, you would need 600 clue cards. And they would all need to be balanced. And I don't even know how you would balance that or play test that. Imagine getting 200 people together for a play test. It would be absolutely insane. Um, 20-minute lights out phases. Yeah. Well, actually, no. Funnily enough, lights out phases would probably be around the same amount of time. You would only just need to add extra time for people to like walk across the football stadium to tap someone else on the hand. uh, okay, I need to get back on track or we're never going to get to this thing. So, the last thing that I have in front of me is my blank list, right? Um, it's like a blank list, and I kind of formatted it like a tier list. Um, but like I'm not gonna call it a tier list, even though it basically is. If someone wants to like make a visual of this for me in the Discord when I'm done talking, like or as I'm going, feel free. But like this is just a podcast, so there will be no visual. But this will just be like a good way for me to talk about how I feel about each of these custom roles that you guys have made. Um, so imagine it like a tier list, right? And we're starting at the top. Um, so the first like category is worthy of fan made expansion. Now what this means is um like the worthy of fan made expansion tier means that I would basically not have to do any work and that this would just fit right in. Like the role would fit right into Massacards with like little to no tweaking from me. Like I would barely have to do any work and it would just fit. Like and that that goes for like mechanics mostly. That is something I should say. I'm going to be talking mostly about the mechanical side of the custom roles today, not so much the lore, just because when it comes to lore, I have the final say. And I know the world and I know what I'm like the story that I'm building and things like that. So don't get like mad if I don't read the awesome lore that you guys have sent me. Like, don't be wrong, I've read it all and I do like a lot of what I read. But like when it comes to adding a role to a game, I'm looking at the mechanics first and then like everything else after that. So we're going to be talking mechanics mostly. But yeah, so the first tier is worthy of fan made expansion. Yeah, basically no work, and it would fit right in. That's what that tier is. Second is great. It's just like, yeah, this is a really great idea. A pretty basic thing. Um, yeah, like it's a great idea, and maybe with like a little bit of work, it could make it into the fan made expansion. And I think the same thing could be said for the good tier, which is right beneath the great tier. I have the good tier. Um, the good tier is just a little bit less than the great tier. Like maybe there's something holding it back. Um, then right beneath good, we have mid. Mid is going to be reserved for roles that I think either need a little more, a little less, or maybe they're just not as creative as I would like them to be. Like if like for instance, if it's just another role with like a kill ability, then like you know like it's a little bit uncreative, isn't it? So like that's where like mid will be like technically there's nothing wrong with it, like it could work, but like I don't know, there's just something about it, blah blah blah. Then below that, there is the needs work tier. And that is like the lowest that the tier list goes, is the needs work tier. Because so far, I haven't been sent anything that I actively dislike. Um, and like, you guys have some funny jokes, and you got like a bunch of stuff. Um, but like like I don't think anything that you guys have sent me is bad. Um, Even the meme rolls I don't dislike. I like the meme rolls. And funnily enough, I think that some of the meme rolls have really good mechanics to them. um, so there is, Alex asks, so there is no didn't make the cut tier. Kind of. Here, I'll explain that in 1 second. Jellied Up asks, are you going to make a separate tier list for joke rolls? Here, well, yeah, I'll just answer that by moving on to what I was going to say. So beneath the needs work tier, I have 3 tiers that basically mean this is a role that I am not ranking. I'm not ranking the role like for various reasons, and that's dependent on the tier. So the first tier is your joke is funny. The your joke is funny tier. And this is a place where the joke rolls will go for the most part. There will be, I know there are a few joke rolls that actually have really good mechanics tied to them. And so they could break their way out of the your joke is funny tier and like move up to either like, good or great or mid or whatever. So like but the joke your joke is funny tier will mostly be just, oh, like you made this role that like, it's meant to be a joke. This is a joke and it's not meant to be taken seriously at all. Then it goes in the joke tier. And that just means I'm not ranking it. I'm not saying that it's good or that it's bad, but I just think it's funny. Like, you made a good joke and I'm acknowledging your joke. Then the next tier after that, which is also in the not ranked section of the tier list, is the it's broken tier. And this tier is reserved for roles that are mechanically broken in some way. Like, either they break the game or they break themselves. And if there's just like a little bit of like, work that can be done on that role to make it not broken, then it would immediately get moved out of the it's broken tier in the future. But for now, it is in the it's broken category because if it were to be added the way it was, it just wouldn't work. So sorry if your role falls into this category. And then lastly, the last of the 3 not ranked things is the does not fit tier. And this could be many things, but mostly it's just like a mechanic that gets brought up in here. And this will be a really rare tier, honestly. I feel like not a lot of things will be put in here, but I know there was one role, and I don't know who made it. I'm sorry if they're in this chat right now, but there was one role that had something about throwing a card at someone. And like, obviously for something like the Uno Amalgam, that would be like a pretty alright mechanic, like nothing wrong with it necessarily. I mean, there's already like the paper football mechanic or whatever, but like it doesn't quite fit into the mechanics of Massacards. So like that's the kind of thing that goes in the does not fit tier. I'm not saying I dislike the idea, I'm just saying that it doesn't fit in Massacards, if that makes sense. Dat Math Boy says, I'm pretty sure I made 0 rolls, which means I have roughly 0% chance of being placed in any tier. I mean, if you have made a roll, you're on the list, but I haven't been keeping track of everyone who's made the list. I just know that like there are a few people who have made tons of rolls, like Sai, who's in the chat with us right now, I believe. Well, yeah, I mean, if you haven't made a roll, you're just here for the ride. Okay. Jeez. Before I get started, is there anything else that I need to say? I feel like I'm forgetting something. There's something else that I need to say about how I'm gonna do this in general. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll remember it later. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's something that I need to say. Um, not everyone not everyone's roles will be talked about for equal amounts of time or like will be given as much spotlight as each other. And also not every role was created with as much detail as other roles. So like, I'll talk about it however much I feel it needs to be talked about. But when it comes to things like I don't know, like if a role just has one thing about it, then like it won't be that much of a topic. It'll just be like a really quick, like, oh well, this would work or this wouldn't work, something like that. Oh, and also if a role falls into the needs work or it's broken tier, I'll probably give my input on how I think it could be changed slightly. My advice might not be perfect, but what I, what I would try to do is just do what I would do if I were to actually add the role to the game. Like I'd be like, okay, so if I have this idea and I wanted to have it be a part of Massacards, how would I need to or want to change it to get it to where it fits good? And I'm not trying to offend anybody. Like I said, I do like pretty much every single idea. I think there was only a couple that I didn't like, and that was just because they were mean. But like, I would never add something that's blatantly mean anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, we're gonna get started. How long have I been recording? I've been recording for I don't know, a long time, and like haven't even started. But here we go. I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna go. At half an hour. Oh, jeez. It's been half an hour. No. All right, we're just gonna start. We're going to start. So here's the very first idea that that I believe. I think this is the very first idea that was ever. Oh, oh wait, that math boy says I actually made one joke roll and someone posted it. Oh well, there you go. Maybe you'll be in here somewhere, but that might be further down the line. Who knows? So yeah. So to my knowledge, this is the very first roll that was ever suggested to me. This role was suggested by a user named Mellow Nova. And Mellow Nova came up with an idea for a role called the Husk. They did not give an alignment. So I'm assuming that they didn't know what the alignment what they would want the alignment to be, or maybe they just forgot. I don't know. Now, this description that they gave is a little bit vague, but it does say that the Husk would be a character. As a character, they would be devoid of morals and drive. And they would have a passive ability that would make people not want to kill them. And that is all of the information that they provided about the Husk. So, what do I think of that? Let's see. Well, as a character, I mean, I do like the name. I actually do like the name. I feel like I would keep the name if I were to add this to the game. And as a character, I do like it. But it kind of is about where it would fit in. Like, what alignment would it be a part of? Like, when you think of Husk, what do you think of? I mean, I think of the Husk from Minecraft. I mean, I don't know if I want to make a Minecraft reference in Massacards, but, like, I could. Sci-I says that this would be a hungry or neutral. Yeah, you might be onto something. Yeah, undead. Yeah, I'm leaning towards undead or hungry, honestly. And then having a passive ability that makes people not want to kill them. Yeah. So would it kind of be like the Fool? Like what would count as like a detriment? A detriment that no one would want. Or maybe particularly the killer. The killer would not want to kill this person. The killer would not want to kill the Husk because why? Like, does it reveal their role? Does it kill them? Because, like, if so, right? Like, say that the Husk is something that, if you kill me, you die, and your role is revealed, or something along those lines. Like, and it was part of the Undead alignment. I feel like that would make sense. Like, I feel like that would actually be a relatively good idea, because, like, it would give the killer more reason to be cautious with their kills in a game with hungry and undead, or like hungry or undead, I guess, depending on which alignment the Husk was a part of. Like overall, I don't have a problem with this idea. I don't have a problem with this idea at all. Actually, it's actually pretty good. I mean, just giving a different alignment a fool like ability, honestly pretty good. And I know that, like, you know, people have been saying that like the undead alignment and the hungry alignment are really small, and I know they're really small. They're the smallest alignments in the game, unfortunately. I think we're on pace to do this in 25 hours. I mean, yeah, I could stretch this as long as I want. It would also need a conversion ability as an undead, though. Not necessarily. I mean, the melter. I mean, not. Oh my gosh, did I just call it the melter? Sorry, the bioweapon. Bioweapon doesn't have an infect ability. Yeah, for those of you wondering, bioweapon used to be called the melter. That was forever ago. Oh my gosh, I feel so foolish. Okay, I will admit that this role is pretty unfinished. I think it's unfinished, but I do think it has a solid foundation. So I think I'm going to put it in good. I think I'm going to put it in good. And so now on my phone, I'm going to write it down in the good tier, so I can reference this later if I need to. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the second role in the list. What do we got? This role is from I am a great ape 9576. And if I'm not mistaken, this guy, this person, I should say, has made a few roles themselves as well. But I don't know if they're on the Discord or not, because I think I've only seen their stuff in the YouTube comments. Okay, so this role is called the Comatose. The Comatose is part of the Dark Innocent alignment. And the description says that they are the actor, but they're Dark Innocent instead. Huh. The actor, but Dark Innocent instead? So they just have all of the actors. They have all of the actors' abilities, but they're Dark Innocent. Hold on. I'm just I said I have the box next to me. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna pull out the actor just so I can know what I'm talking about, like, fully here. Okay, so the actor. So they have a light ability called Rude Awakening, and they play this card to kill another player, but they have to have already used their dark ability in order to use it. And their dark ability is, after the lights out phase concludes, reveal all of your clue cards and pretend to be dead. But you're not dead, really. That's basically what it is. So the Comatose is this. Yeah, so the Comatose is the actor, but they are just a Dark Innocent. Huh. I mean, it's a little it's a little unoriginal. I will say it is a little unoriginal. If, like, I do like the actor, obviously. Like, I made the actor role. But, like, uh, you know, uh, usually when I duplicate abilities, they have a reason. Um, what's original about the disciple? Nothing other than every alignment needs a role that does nothing. Uh, but so like, okay, so if the actor was Dark Innocent, what would it accomplish, right? Because like, the whole point of the actor is that they can pretend to be dead and then wake up and kill someone. And like no one would have expected to like be able to die from a dead person randomly, you know? Like and that's the point of the actor. So if you give the same abilities to a Dark Innocent player, I suppose it does kind of have the same effect, doesn't it? Because, Dark Innocents, like the Private Eye, for example, they are meant to make the killing blow. And there are other roles, like the Butler, that, have a dark kill ability. But, yeah, so I guess it's not bad. It's not bad. It's definitely not a bad idea. It's just a little bit unoriginal, leaning towards a little bit unoriginal. I might, man, I don't know how to feel about this actually. Like it definitely has a place. I guess it definitely has a place. So I can't be too harsh on it cuz like it could fulfill something. Um maybe I could like fit that into like a theme, like into a theater type theme. And then that would be another reason why this character was here. Maybe it wouldn't be called the Comatose, it would be called something else. Like it could definitely work. I think I might also put this in good. It's not great yet. There's nothing great, but it's like it's good. It's good. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm writing it down. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on to the third role on the list. This role was created by. Oh, what was that? My door just shook. I don't know what that was. That was so scary. There's no one else here right now, and my door just shook. Well, if I die, you guys will be my witnesses. All right. Uh, so this role was created by Crow Core Games 1785. And this role is called the Skeleton. And there's only one line of information that's provided here. The Skeleton does not have an objective at the start of the game, and they have to find it. And they have to find it? And they have to find it. They don't have an objective, but they have to find it. That's all the information that was given. The skeleton doesn't even have an alignment either. Okay, so... Oh, geez. So this would probably start... This would probably start as the unknown alignment then. And then whatever objective they gained would determine their alignment. I guess you could say he's pretty bare bones. Good one, Zach Bossai. Very good. Sai says pick a player. If they are none, they gain their objective. Huh. Alex says I've got a bone to pick with their creator. Like, oh, this is such an interesting one. I mean, like, I think there'd have to be. It would have to be either unknown alignment or none alignment to start the game. Because none alignment can have any objective. And the like the unknown alignment, like I don't think Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure like no role in base Massacards yet has a thing where they start as the unknown alignment. Like they always start as something, but then they transform into unknown just because like that's a way on the card to symbolize that they could turn into anything. I don't think anyone has actually ever been the unknown alignment at any given point. Um uh okay, so I need to read this chat. Pick a player and steal their life force. Kind of sounds like usurper, honestly. Little Puddin says, "Do you want my take on this? What this was?" Yeah, you know what, Little Puddin, what do you got? Do you have a similar idea like to the skeleton? This must be a very early suggested role. Yeah, well, I did start at the beginning of the list, so I did start at the very beginning. Alex says, make the skeleton kill once, steal that person's skin, and their win condition becomes their victims, except they don't retain their abilities. Ooh. Ooh, that might be too evil. That like that's an interesting idea, but like that might be a little bit too evil. Like, oh man, imagine I can't imagine there are some objectives that are so hard to get, and the only way that they can be got is with the ability that the character has. Like obviously like surviving and dying and killing the killer would be a bit easier, and those are like the most common ones. Or conquer enemies, I guess, would be another one, but there are some of the non-alignment objectives that are a little evil, a little evil. Lil Pun says, give card on Dark Ability 1, first alignment. They say is your next alignment objective is conquer enemies. Oh wait, okay, so your next new alignment objective is conquer enemies or kill the killer, and then you get a kill ability. Oh wow. That's definitely an interesting idea, Lil Puddin. You should put that in the Discord so I see it later, and then that'll get brought up again, like way later down the line. I don't know if that would cleanly fit with the idea that Procore Games was going for here, but I do think that that's interesting. I do have to. Yeah, you're right. I do have to rank the skeleton as is. Um, don't have an objective at the start of the game, and they have to find it. It's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea, but there isn't a lot there, unfortunately. If it were up to me, yeah, like I said before, I would start it with either unknown or none alignment, and then I would give them an ability that would allow them to find their alignment or objective, I should say. That would allow them to find their objective. Like maybe it's something like the cannibal where they have to do something twice and then it evolves or something. They get an ability like that. Um, but that's just my suggestion. I think that maybe the skeleton will have to go in the needs work tier. So that is the first entry into the needs work tier, unfortunately. But like I said, it's not a bad idea. It just needs a little bit more to make it work. I need to I need to type down, like, some of these people have crazy long usernames and like I don't know, like especially with like the 4 random numbers at the end. I mean, maybe they're not random, but there's just a lot there. Lilpin says it was called the Muse in my mind. That's not a bad name. I do like the name. Alex SC, not me just making a roll on the spot. That's what people tend to do. I noticed that like whenever a roll intro video is posted, I always get like a few roll like ideas right afterwards. Like it's so silly. It's so silly. Sad that there's only 9 here. Well, I don't care. I mean, I like it. I like that you guys are here. I can interact with you guys, and if more people want to show up, they can show up. um, Okay, we're moving on. We're moving on to the next role. This one was created by Jolteon693, and this is called the Chemist. Um, yeah, okay, so the Chemist is a Dark Innocent role, and they have a couple of abilities here. They have a few abilities, actually. So they have one Dark ability that's just a kill. Okay. So they have one, yeah, they have an ability that allows them to kill every night, like every lights out phase, just like the killer. Dark ability 2 is the same as the protectors, it says. Okay, so that is the, the defensive body armor, it's the protector. It's what they do. Now I gotta pull out. I gotta grab the protector from the pile of rolls that I have here, just so I can read what they are. Yeah, there's 200 cards that I need to sift through. So the protector. So they give their card to another player to protect that player from being killed during this lights out phase. And then if you are given this card, you can give it again next lights out phase, or you can give it again as a light ability next round. So yeah, just a traveling protect ability. But they also have a passive ability. The passive ability is that they are immune to non-killing hungry abilities. Really? Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. So anything that isn't a kill, they're immune to? Now I need to pull out the entire hungry alignment. Like, what does that mean? What are they actually immune to then? So they're immune to. Oh, well, they're immune to the assimilator's ability for one. Yeah. Oh, Sai, I already got it. Yeah. Yeah. So they're immune to the assimilator. Um. Oh wow. So they're immune to the demon's dark ability 1. So they're immune to drain. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, I guess. They're immune. Oh wait, they're not immune to the cannibal. So they're not immune to the cannibal or the beast, like at all, basically. Um, and they're not immune to the shapeshifter. They're not immune to the shapeshifter. So really, this passive ability protects them from 2 rolls out of 200. I mean, if the hungry alignment was more fleshed out, I feel like that would be better, but like, you know, 1%. Yeah, you're right. That is actually exactly 1%. 1% is better than 0%, I guess, but there really isn't a lot of interactivity there, you know? Uh, like, obviously, there are some roles that are meant to interact with the hungry alignment, like take the chef, for example. But narrowing it down even further, it might as well not be there. I mean, unless you're like actively playing with hungry. But you got to think about random role selection a lot of the time. Like random role selection would really it would really hinder this role's passive. It might as well just not be there, unfortunately. Hungry plus undead don't really exist compared to the to the rest of the alignments. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they are the 2 smallest alignments. But when you have a game with them, they do tend to kind of take over. Like take the undead for example. I mean, the whole point is like turning other people undead. So while there may only be 1 at the start, there may be way more later in the game. And hungry as well. Like you got to think of hungry and undead as like a third team, that like is really hazardous to everyone's health and everyone's survivability, because the hungry are just going to eat all of you and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. And the undead will, turn you into an undead, and now you have a new objective, and your old like teammates are going to like look to you like, "Hey man, you good?" And you're not good. You're not good anymore. So like that's how it like balances, and that's why the hungry and undead alignments are both really small in comparison to the rest of them. So maybe make it so it nullifies hungry ability canceling on kill. I mean, potentially. Potentially. I feel like we're focusing a lot on this passive ability when... I mean, yeah, okay, so they have a kill, they have a dark kill, they have the Protector's dark ability, and they're immune to hungry stuff. How is this immune, like, how does this relate to the name chemist, I guess is, I guess that's what I'm asking. It's an interesting one. I don't know if this role really fits a niche. I don't know if it fits in to any specific game perfectly. I mean, having a Dark Innocent with a reoccurring kill ability is really powerful. Like, a Dark Innocent with a reoccurring kill is actually really powerful, and they have the Protector's armor as well. Like, this would be a super role, honestly. I mean, this feels like a really powerful thing. And I'm not saying that every super role is meant to be powerful, but like when you compare this to like the the hero, if you compare this to the hero, like it's a pretty similar idea here, except this is more powerful than the hero, because not only do they have the same armor as the hero, but they also have a reoccurring kill that can happen every night, and they're immune to hungry stuff sometimes. Only works in a multi-hungry game. Yeah, I think I would have to agree with that, at least with that passive ability involved. And then if you take the passive ability away, right, it's just a more powerful hero. Like, it's just an even more powerful hero. I think this might be the first mid. I think I'm going to put this in mid, just because I don't know if it fits anywhere. I'm not sure where it would go. Like, if I were to add this, you know what I mean? I hope you guys understand what I mean. Because I'm kind of just ranting right now. I'm kind of just going. I'm just saying stuff, and whatever I say, I say. Yeah, so that's mid. Would you post your notes of the fan rolls in the chat going forward? It's easy to get lost here. I don't know. Maybe like in the text chat. You want me to post them in the text chat? Like where I rank them, or like how I would suggest changing them, or like what is it? What is it that you wanna see? Because like, yeah. Yeah, but what do you want? What do you want to see specifically? I'll wait. I'm patient. Like I said, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking for quite a while. We're gonna be talking for just a little bit. I mean, like I said, we have over 300 roles, and I don't plan on getting through all of them today. Like everything. Well, I'm not going to type out everything. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to type out everything. How many roles do you plan? As far as I want, until I get sick of talking. So far, you've done a roll in 10 minutes. We aren't going anywhere. I mean, listen, it's fine. This series can be multiple episodes, and by multiple I mean quite a few, because you guys have made so many roles, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this, because I need to catch up. I mean, not catch up, but at least get a start on it, you know. And this video probably won't be posted until after the role intro series is done. So, okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I think these will stay in Luke's notes until he actually plans on adding these. Oh, um, yeah. Um, like, all of these are staying in my notes for sure. All of these are staying in my notes. The worthy ones, yeah, the worthy ones, maybe I'll talk about a little bit more, or a little bit less. We'll see. The podcast format really fits. You know what? Thank you. I appreciate that, because this is just something that I really want to talk about. And like, there's no reason to have any visuals or anything. Like, you don't need Family Guy playing in the background, right? You don't need that, right? Please. We don't need PETA. We don't need PETA here. We don't need him. All right, we're moving on. By the time the next stream happens, we will just make more rolls than we're covered. Yeah, you're right. But I don't care. We're just going. We're going. We're moving on. We're moving on to the next one. Okay. This one was made by Nolan Donahue. Nolan has made a character called the Follower. The Follower is part of the neutral alignment. Okay, so we actually have an alignment this time. That's nice. Oh. Oh boy, this is a complex one. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Okay, I'm just going to read everything. Give me a second. Dark Ability 1. Give your role card to another player to activate your passive ability. Okay, so this... Okay. Dark Ability 2. Dark Ability 2 can only be used after Dark Ability 1. Kill another player. Okay, so they have a Dark Kill. Light Ability. Light Ability can only be used after Dark Ability 1. It's the same as the Maniac. Oh, geez. Okay, so I need to dig out the Maniac card now? Okay. I mean, I know what the Maniac does, but I want to read it. Just, I want to read it. Let me read it, guys. Please, let me read it. Ugh, if I could find it. There's so many roles in this game. Oh no, what a burden this is. I found him. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Light ability is same as the Maniac. Okay. And they have a passive ability. Okay, so they have a passive ability too. You are aligned with the player you give your card to. You must follow the orders of the recipient. If you die before you follow someone, you come back to life immediately. If you or the recipient dies, the other dies as well. If you are forced to use your dark ability more than once, you die. I'm laughing because, like, that's like 4 abilities. That's like 4 abilities in 1 ability. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's break this down. Oh no. Oh no, Nolan. Okay, so I think by default this goes in the it's broken category. Here's why. Because first thing, I there's no reason like, oh jeez, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff here. Okay, so let's take a look at like all of the things that are on this card, right? Like, if you think of all of the text that needs to be on this card, it won't fit on the card. Like, the Maniac's ability already fills up a good chunk of the card. Like, the Maniac's ability already, like, fills up a good chunk of the card. And then Like the lovesick ability is also here in the passive because if you die, or if the recipient of the card dies, you die as well. So this is a lovesick moment as well. So there's two roles worth of text on this card, and then you have everything else also. So, oh my gosh. If you die before you follow someone, you come back to life immediately. So, if you die, if, uh, I'm having a hard time. I mean, I don't think even posting this in the chat would help because, like, I'm having a hard time understanding this role just by looking at it. um, yeah, no, Alex, you made such a good point. Alex says so. So as long as you follow no one, you don't die. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If you don't use your ability to follow someone, you cannot die because if you die, you get resurrected immediately. And there's nothing here that says anything about a limit of like how many times you can be revived. like, uh, like you're just invincible, really. And this is part of the neutral alignment. So by default, like your goal is to survive. So if so if you just don't use your ability, if you don't use your ability, then you're fine. You just win. Sai says the passive ability only activates if you used your dark ability 1. Okay, so your dark ability 1 is to give your card to another player to activate your passive. Okay. So you do need to give your card to someone, right? You do need to give your card away. Wait, so that's contradictory then. that's that's completely contradictory. There'd be no reason to even have that part of the role, like if that part of the passive ability in there at all then, because if you have to follow someone first, then like there would never be a point where you haven't played your dark ability 1 and then died and then be able to use that ability. So that entire chunk of it is pointless. That entire chunk of that text is pointless. Um okay, but so when you give your card to someone, you are aligned with the person that you give your card to. So it's yeah, like it is broken by default. I agree. Uh, like, so you are aligned with the person that you give your card to. Now, this part does really bother me. You must follow the orders of the recipient. What does that mean? what, what does it mean? What does it mean when you say you have to follow the orders like of the recipient? So the recipient can like what? Like the recipient knows what you can do, I guess, because they have your card now, so they can see everything that you're capable of doing. But if the recipient told you to like do anything, like what if the recipient told you to like leave the game or something like that? It's so vague. And yes, and you don't even know the recipient's alignment. That's true. And that is a mechanic that does exist in base Massacards, but like here it just makes it extra confusing, like extra unnecessary. Does that give you the power to kill on sight? I mean, kinda. they they gain. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see this. Okay. So this thing has two dark abilities, right? And every ability after Dark Ability 1 says that it can only be used after using Dark Ability 1. And that includes the Light ability, which is the Maniac's ability, just to, restate that, right? And the Maniac's ability, just to restate that, It's a reoccurring light kill ability. So like you get to kill someone and then the card goes back into your hand and then you could use it again next round. So the light ability can only be used after using dark ability 1. However, you can't use the light ability because you gave it away in dark ability 1. So you'll never be able to use the light ability ever. You just won't be able to unless it somehow finds its way back into your hand, in which case you'll be able to use it. But at that point you'll probably be dead because that means that someone probably stole your abilities. It's not an extra layer, it means you literally don't know your alignment after giving up the card. I mean, yeah, you don't know your alignment about you don't know your alignment after giving up the card. Like, but because of all of the things that this role can do, like, or that it can't do, apparently. So essentially, the person who made it has no idea how the game works. I wouldn't say that. I think that they were just overambitious because they put like 30 things in here. This is a really easy. It's broken. I'm going to put it in it's broken. Uh, this will be the first addition into the it's broken category, the it's broken tier. I'm going to write it down right now. Sorry, Nolan, but it is in fact broken. If I were to try and fix this, in any way, I would say like get rid of most of the passive ability, honestly. Like get rid of the entire thing that involves like following the orders of the recipient. That's too vague. Um you don't need the let's get rid of the game breaking like revive yourself forever thing. We don't need that. You could probably get rid of the love sick ability too, honestly. Like that entire passive ability might just not even have to be there, because even though it's like 4 abilities, like it's 4 abilities in one. You don't need any of them, I don't think. uh like, well, maybe you could keep one of them. Maybe you could keep one of the 4 things you listed in the passive ability. Like the one that says, like if you are forced to use your dark ability more than once, you die. Like that's interesting. Like it's an interesting idea. Like something like that. Like maybe keep that, but get rid of the rest, because then it would, if you didn't, it would just be too much text. You can get rid of the light ability as well because it'll literally never happen. And that's why this role is broken. But other than that, it's okay. No, this role was just a little bit overambitious. Too much text on the card, unfortunately. So it is broken. I'm sorry. Moving on. Wait. So I think the hardest part of making rolls is making sure that 2 rolls cause an impossible scenario or a scenario where both rolls together can break the game. You're right. Yeah. And, there are a lot of roll combinations that can be either really good or really bad. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I knew that you meant can't cause. No, but I knew what you meant. Like, it is hard to think of, like, all of the possible combinations that could occur. And I know that there are some combinations that could be really powerful. But a lot of them can't happen unless you have purely random rolls or are using random roll selection. Like Philanthropist and Telepath. Yes, that's a really good combo. Oh, sorry. I just dropped something on the floor. But, yeah. Philanthropist and Telepath is funny. Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of good and bad, like, roll combinations. But oftentimes it's really hard to execute. It's really hard to execute any, like, grand scheme to, like, get the infinite innocent win glitch that you're looking for. You know what I mean? But, a lot of the times if you keep it contained, keep it simple in your own role, it works out just fine. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on for real this time. So next we have a role made by Elaf or Elaf, ELLLAF. That is their name or their username. uh, they have created a role called the Politician. And the Politician is a neutral role, and they do have the survive objective. They do specify that. And they have a light ability. The light ability is everyone casts a vote. Player with the most fingers pointed at them dies. Ooh, you know what? That is really solid. It's been a while since I've read these. If you couldn't tell, I mean, these are some of the first ones. So, like, yeah, I love democracy. Me too, Alex. I love democracy as well. I mean, it's so simple. Yeah, less is more. It sounds like it. Yeah, in most cases that's true. There are some cases where like more detail is required, or like stuff with the hungry where they need to do a thing and then they get to do something else, and it can backfire. You're so right. You're so right, Alex. Like, there's a lot of like, there's a lot of room for the role play and the discussion and things to go wrong or right with a ability like this. And of course, this ability in general reminds me of a few other hidden role games that have voting mechanics, like Town of Salem, things like that. And voting mechanics in general are very popular in the hidden role community, and they are not something that is in Massacards, which I'm kind of baffled by, actually, that I didn't put any voting mechanics in Massacards. Like, I can't believe I didn't do that, because like it's such a staple of the genre. But like this would be a really good way to implement something like that. Like, have a role and like their whole deal is like the vote. And then everyone casts a vote. And also, not many people have a reason to vote for the politician because they're relatively safe. Like, they're neutral. Like, they're not going to anger anyone by casting a vote, but the people that they do anger are probably going to lose. And it's a one-time. That's right, Lil Puddin'. It's a one-time ability, so like it doesn't completely change the game. It's not like a game mode that makes it a voting game mode or anything like that. It just works. It just works. I really do like this idea. I really do like it a lot. And in fact, I think that may be the very first worthy of fan-made expansion role that there is. If the majority votes for you, you are impeached and are banned from playing the politician ever again. That's a good one. That's really good. I don't think I would call this role the politician, honestly. I think I would call it something a little less political, I guess. I don't like to involve politics in my games, unless of course it's the no politics veto card from Uno Nonpartisan, which that's the whole joke. That's the bit. Yeah, I don't want to put anything controversial in, but like I really like this mechanic a lot, and for that reason, it is going straight into the worthy of fan made expansion. Massacards is very political. I don't know about that. Political in a discussion based way. Political in a discussion based way. I'm writing it down. The politician. Throughout the course of this stream, I might like slowly go insane because I'm not used to talking for a really long time. So forgive me if I go a little crazy. We're moving on. Nice one, Elef. If you're watching this later, good one. Next, we're moving on to another suggestion by I Am a Great Ape 9576. So we have a reoccurring character already. They have come up with a role called The Executioner. Okay. So the Executioner is innocent. And their light ability is the same as the Maniac. And that's it. That's the whole rule. Okay. Oh, so once again, I have the Maniac card right here. So the Maniac has a reoccurring light ability where they kill someone and then the card goes back into their hand so they can use it next round. And I Am a Great Ape is suggesting that instead of having a murderous one, there is a innocent one. And you know what? That actually isn't that bad. And here's why. It isn't that bad of an idea. It isn't that bad because the executioner would like immediately out themselves, right? They'd be like, "Hello, I am the executioner, and I am going to kill someone until I kill the killer every round." And the killer sees this, and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to kill you now. And then they kill that person next lights out, assuming that they don't get lucky and just kill the killer right away. And that can happen in Massacards. Sometimes people are dumb with their abilities and they just take the shot. And yeah, that's it. Dat Math Boy says, it sounds like the Vigilante. It is, but this is a more powerful Vigilante because they can use their ability more than once. And it sort of forces the killer to kill them right now or risk being killed. Bluffing could also happen. That is true. Like, the Executioner could say, like, hey, I'm the Executioner, but then, like, not use their ability that round, and then, a few rounds down the line, then they use their ability, assuming they aren't dead yet. Like, there's a lot that could happen with this role, and oddly enough, it does kind of fit just because, like, it kind of puts pressure on the killer, which I think is all right. I think it's pretty all right to put pressure on the killer. And it's a unique thing. Like, it's different. It's not completely unique, obviously. Like, this ability isn't unique, but the idea that, like, it's an innocent doing it, so they, like, it plays differently is what I'm trying to say. Like, even though it's the same ability, it plays differently. Because basically, if you use this ability, you're gonna die next round. Like, if the killer was smart, they would just kill you. Because now everyone knows who you are. There's no reason to keep you alive. There's no reason to keep you alive anymore. There's no reason the killer wouldn't kill you. So yeah, it is interesting. In the odd case that the Executioner does survive more than one round after using their ability, that would just be the reason to have them in the game. And maybe the killer needs to kill someone else more that round. You have a point, Little Puddin'. You have a point. I mean, especially if there's something like Undead or Hungry in the game, maybe the killer would leave the Executioner alive in hopes that they just don't kill the killer and, like, randomly kill other people instead. If so, I mean, like, it's just making it less work for the killer. But it would probably end up being a pretty quick game if the killer did allow this to keep happening. But it's a pretty interesting dynamic. It's an interesting dynamic. It's just a little bit on the unoriginal side because, like, the Maniac ability seems to be pretty popular. I'm going to put this in good. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's mid, though, either. Like, I think it is just good. I think it could work if it were added. And, you know why, because I just told you. I need to write down, I am a great ape. I am a great ape. It's a good name, but then there's the 4 random numbers at the end, and that's what gets me. All right. We're moving on. We're going on down the list. Oh. Ooh, here's a fun one. So this role was made by LF. Again, we have another reoccurring maker here. This role is called the Stander. They they have no alignment. There's no alignment description, and there are no other details. That's it. They're just they're called the Stander. I mean, yeah, it's great. I love it. Like literally nothing about it. There's nothing to dislike. They have to stand. So true, Sai. All spectators are given this card. That's such a good idea, Dat Math Boy. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, there's nothing to dislike. They do be standing. I think you guys all know where this is going. Um, this is gonna go into the "your joke is funny" category. Because it's funny. It's a funny joke. Good one. But like, there's really no reason to add it, unfortunately. It's your average Joe who doesn't know how they got there. I mean, there's a few characters who don't know how they got there. So, already filled. Niche already filled. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on. This role, this next one, was created by Very RGOTI. I don't know if that means something. I don't know if that's like an abbreviation for something. Hopefully not. Or maybe if it is, it's a good thing. So they have created a role with no name. It doesn't have a name, which is fine. I don't like. It doesn't detract from anything. I don't think. It doesn't have an alignment either, though. So really, not a lot of information going in. But it has one ability. It doesn't even say what kind of ability it is. That's a little concerning. This role can't talk at all, but can see everything during the lights out phase. Oh. So it's a passive then. It's a passive ability. They can't talk at all, but they can see everything during the lights out phase. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put that in the "it's broken." That is broken. It's very broken. Would hand signs count as talking? No, they wouldn't. So you could just point at the killer? Yep. Me when I point at the killer? Yeah, you could just point at the killer. Or, alternatively, anyone could just ask you yes or no questions. And you could nod yes or no. So, like, they could say, like, is this person dark innocent? Is this person hungry? Is this person this? And, like, this one person would be able to derail every alignment simultaneously. Like, this is beyond busted, I think. And I know there's always the argument like, oh, well, anyone can pretend to be this character. That's true. But, like, that's only if you're using random role selection, Like, if you're putting this role in a normal game, like, everyone will know that this role exists. And you're going to have, like, 3 people pretending to be this role. And all of a sudden, it's, like, a different game. And that's, like... It's just not the same anymore, is it? Yeah, I mean, it's just too powerful. I think it's too powerful. I'm going to put it in the "it's broken" category, unfortunately. I think maybe if there was something about this role that could hinder it in some way, or maybe have it be a temporary thing similar to the physicist, but in a different way, it'd be a lot better. If people pretend to be this role, it derails the game entirely. Exactly. And like not in a good way either. You know, like it's not fun if everyone is pretending to be this role and then the game is just something else. How to okay, Zach Bossai has a solution apparently. You can't communicate, you can only make choices as the lead investigator. As the leader? So oh, I see. I see. So if you're the leader and you choose two people, like that's like the really important thing. Like everyone knows that you're this person and then everyone knows you're this character and then you bring people on an investigation and that means something. So that would give you at like most well like two or three yes or no questions basically. That's a decent fix. That's a decent fix actually. Like not bad. Not bad. You should put that in the Discord. I mean, like, yeah, like that's a completely different role at that point, but like definitely, you know, way more interesting and way more viable than this one, because this one is broken. We are moving on. Okay, we have another role by LF. LF LF is a really a reoccurring role creator. Um, and I'm pretty sure that they're in the Discord, but they're called something else, and I can't remember what it is. So maybe I have both versions of their name on here. Whatever, it doesn't matter because, like I said, I just copied it down what I saw when I first saw it. Um, so this role is called the Invitee. They are part of the Innocent alignment, and what do they got? They can give their card to another player, and the recipient gains the abilities on the card. Okay, so I'm assuming that is dark, a dark give, because it doesn't specify. I'm assuming that that's a dark give ability. So they give their card to another player, their role card, during the lights out phase to another player, and then that player gains the abilities on this card, of which is the dark give ability, which like, you know, we're talking about right now, but they also gain a passive ability, which is you can open your eyes during the dark innocent portion of the lights out phase. Huh. Interesting. So, okay, so this is a hot potato card, as I like to call it. There are quite a few hot potato cards in Massacards already, and I have no problem with adding another. But like that's just how that's how I classify an ability like this, because this ability could hop around the entire table if people allowed it to, right? Like, because if you're gaining all of the abilities on this card, then that means you give the ability to give the card away. So, huh. And then the only thing that this gives you is the ability to open your eyes during the dark innocent portion of the lights out phase. Would this be useful? I guess yes, right? Because uh you do not know who the private eye is, but you do know the other dark innocents. Cool. Yeah, that is the thing. So the private eye has their own portion of the lights out phase. And because of that, um like you would never get to know who the private eye is unless the private eye used their ability or whatever or died. But like you would know who the other dark innocents are. And like this oh wait, I just realized. Oh, this is way different than I thought. So I just clocked that this is an innocent alignment. Like the invitee is innocent. So that means that this give ability is a light ability. So you give it during like the discussion or the investigation. Oh. So yeah, you give it to someone straight up. You just hand them the card and be like, "Here you go." And now that person can like open their eyes during the dark innocent portion. That is useful. It is useful, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right, Little Puddin'. Yeah, so the private eye can get this card, and then like they would know who the other dark innocent is, so that they would know not to kill them or things like that. Could be useless if no dark innocence. That's true. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! This one is broken. It's broken. You know why? You know? Do you know why it's broken? um, it's broken because guest number cards exist, right? Like, this ability would be completely useless with guest number cards active. It would have no effect at all. Like, in when you're playing with guest number cards, the whole thing is like um before the game even starts, like the murderous alignment and like the hungry alignment, like they get to know who like their fellow alignment members are before the game begins. Um and that's just because like for the rest of the game they don't get to see each other during the lights out phase. But they'll know who each other are just because at the beginning of the game they did that little bit. But with this ability specifically, it's tied into the dark innocent portion of the lights out phase. Oh, it's such a shame because like this is actually like this is not a bad idea. This is not a bad idea by any means, but like I think it is broken. I think it is broken. Uh, if I were to fix this in some way, I guess I think maybe it would be like a hot potato still, but maybe you would get to choose. Like when you receive the card, you get to choose what portion of the lights out phase you want to open your eyes during, kind of like the physicist. But it's a hot potato, and it goes around, and maybe it like the ability disappears after one round. So you can open your eyes like once during one round during one specific portion of the lights out phase, and then you give it to another person if you want to, because it's no longer of use to you. You can see the person after you instead. That might be another good idea too. Like, so if you're player 4, maybe you can open your eyes during player 5. But uh yeah, that would be something that would have to be reworked. Like it would have to be reworked pretty much all the way just to allow guest number cards to occur. So that's my suggestion. I am going to put this in It's Broken, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. Obviously, I talked about this one for quite a bit. Like it's definitely not bad. Good idea. It just needs something. It needs something to actually make it work with guest number cards. Um. Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. uh. Okay, so this role was made by No Dig 101. Like no dig. No diggity 101. And this role is called The Dead. The Dead, that's pretty funny. They're part of the unknown alignment. Interesting. Okay, so already this would be a first. Starting with the unknown alignment. Revolutionary. uh, okay. So they have the survive objective and the unknown objective. Interesting. So I'm assuming that means that they have both, right? Like they have to complete both in order to win instead of like it changing from survive to something else in order to win. Like it says and, so I'm assuming that it means that. They have a passive ability. Passive ability. You start the game dead. If the private eye or the killer die, you take their role and become that role. Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. That's really crazy. so so the game immediately starts. The game immediately starts and you just reveal all of your roll cards. Like as soon as you like look at your hand for the first time, you reveal all of your roll cards. And now everyone knows who you are too, because I'm assuming there wouldn't be any other role like this, you know? Like there would be no other role like the dead that starts the game dead. So everyone knows that you're the dead, and now from that point on, if the private eye or killer dies, you take their roll card and become that role. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's cool. It's such a cool idea. Oh, it's so good. Like, what's wrong with it? Is there anything wrong with it? Like, it's interesting, right? It's really interesting because like, you know, like the dark innocence slash innocence and the murderous alignments could be losing, like like either of them could be losing, and then this role could single-handedly save the day. People will know that you took the role. Well, yeah, duh. Like they would know that you took the role because um like the private eye or killer would reveal their role, and then um yeah, and then you would just take it because it's a revealed card. Like you would have to take it as part of your role because this is a passive ability. You would have to take it, like probably in front of everyone. Someone's gonna panic wondering who you are. Um, I think everyone will know who you are if you die at the beginning of the game. Lil Puddin asks, does it need to specify for hero or massacre? No, actually. A card like this, and I think there might be one or two examples of this in the base game already. Um, like a card like this would not need to specify the hero or the killer. Like it wouldn't have to have an extra line of text that says, "Oh yeah, by the way, if the hero or killer dies as well, you take their card." It wouldn't need to specify that because the whole point of those two roles is that they replace the private eye and the killer. So like anything that would happen to the killer, like the witness performs the vision for massacre if massacre replaces the killer. So because of that, like, everything that's tied to the killer would also be tied to massacre, because they are a replacement role. If you were using massacre and the hero like individually, like I don't know why you would ever have like massacre and the killer in the same game, but say you were crazy and you did, right? It wouldn't work, first of all. But like say you did, like massacre's presence would overpower the killer, I guess. So like if the witness was going to target anyone, it would be massacre. Like but that you shouldn't have the killer and massacre in the same game, I don't think, unless you're trying to do the 200 player game like we've been theorizing about. The philanthropist no longer needs a telepath to kill someone. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The base game, Quinwood says the base game role intro for hero state they replace the base role. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. The hero does replace the private eye. Lil Puddin says I still think it should take the neutral slot. I agree, actually. It would make sense for this to be neutral. Like it doesn't need the unknown alignment. It can be neutral just as well because like yeah, It can be neutral just as well because Dark Innocent, like Dark Innocent and like Murderous are the two sides of the coin in this case, so that would work just fine for it to be neutral. It doesn't need to be unknown. Oh, you know what I thought of? You know what I just thought of actually? So, this is a role that will almost guaranteed be revived, right? Like almost a 100% chance of being revived. Like the only thing that could stop it from happening is like if they're like the only thing that could stop it from happening is if their body was devoured for whatever reason. Like or if their alignment got changed. But even if their alignment got changed, even if the dead's alignment got changed, when you get revived, your alignment changes to whatever the card is that you take. So it doesn't even matter if your alignment gets changed, like when you're dead. Oh, okay. You know what? I think this is a really good roll. This is such a solid roll. The this is a really solid roll. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to add this to the worthy. This is a worthy roll. I I really don't think that this is like debatable. It's just such a good idea. No dig, no dig 101. Welcome to the Hall of the Worthy. I don't know if that's what I'll be calling it. Or if anything. I don't know if I'll be calling it anything. Dat Math Boy says, I think I have to retract my statement about how this will take 25 hours if we go through all 300-ish of these. We're not going through all of them today. We're going to go through them, you know, over time. Like, not all of them today. We're just going to go as far as I feel like going today. All right, we're moving on. Oh, here it is. Remember how earlier I said that I knew there was a role that involved throwing your card at someone? Well, I found it. It's right here. So this role was again made by LF. This role is called the Duelist. They are part of the non-alignment, and they have a light ability. You throw your card, and if you hit a player, they die. I mean, I almost want to take it as a joke. Honestly, it might be a joke. Like, can you imagine how easy it would be to, like, just barely throw the card at the person sitting next to you and kill them? Like, the person is sitting, like, less than a foot away, and you just, like, gently, like, toss your card in their general direction, and it hits them, and they die. And, like, it's just vigilante with extra steps. I mean, I guess they're non-alignment. Stab someone's eye out simulator 2023. But that 200 player game though, yeah, I think it should actually injure the person for some. Oh no, it can't. We're not gonna injure anyone. No one is getting their eye poked out in a game of Massacards. This is going in the does not fit. It's going in the does not fit category because it doesn't fit. It does not fit in a game like this. Sorry. It's I almost want to put it in the your joke is funny, but it is not. I don't think this was meant to be a joke. I think this was meant to be legitimate. So yeah, it's going in the does not fit category. Moving on. Next, we have a role by Jason Hernandez 3402. What a that once again a super long username with 4 random numbers at the end. This role is called the Equalizer, and the Equalizer is part of the non alignment. Okay. And they have a new objective. Oh, they have a brand new objective. And that objective is to kill all players with a kill ability. Okay. And they have a dark ability. So the dark ability is a kill ability, but it also forces the player to reveal their card. And then there's also a passive here where if the equalizer loses their ability for any reason, they die. Okay, interesting. I need to look at the chat real quick. LF is evolved cactus on Discord, I believe. Oh, okay. You know that I think that might be right actually. I'll choose to believe you for now. And Datmath Boy says, "Is there a your joke is not funny tier?" There could be. If there really is a not funny joke, maybe I'll have to make a whole new tier just for that. I'm not opposed to making a whole new tier. Okay. So about this role, the equalizer. Killing all players with a kill ability. I don't know about this one. I'm not certain. I'm not certain about this one. So they have a reoccurring dark ability, right? And their reoccurring dark ability is a kill. So they have just as much power as the killer in that aspect during the lights out phase. But it also forces people to reveal their role card. Having an ability that is not only a kill, but also a reveal your role card ability that has no limits placed on it is really dangerous. Like, for the entire game. Mostly because Witness exists, and if you out the Witness, it's over. Like, it's... like, that ability might just be a little bit too much. It might be a little bit too much. But if the role dictates the victim reveals their role, how does it work in randomized games? Oh. Oh. Oh, I see what you're saying, kinda. Oh. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so this dark ability would have to be a give your card ability. It would have to be a give your card ability because not only does it kill you, but it does something else. It's similar to the Ripper in that respect, where the Ripper kills you, but also blah 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 things happen after that. So like this would have to be a give your card ability, and therefore it would only be able to be used once. So that does put a limit on it, and that also therefore makes it impossible for you to kill all players with a kill ability because there will always be two and you only get one. So this role is broken. I love doing mental gymnastics with this sort of thing. I am going to put this in the it's broken tier. Oh man, almost had me. Almost had me with that one. Chasen Hernandez. It does need a little bit of work, I guess. How would I fix this? How would I fix this? Okay, I wrote down his really long username. How would I fix this? I mean, I would probably I'd probably just get rid of the portion where the equalizer forces you to reveal your card if they use their ability on you. Like, then that would make their dark ability reoccurring. But I'd also probably put like a limiter on the dark ability, like say it could only be used once or twice, probably twice. But the objective itself, I agree with Little Puddin here, is pretty ridiculous, especially since there are an unpredictable amount of people who could have kill abilities in a game with random rule selection. So I do think that the objective would have to be altered to something maybe like kill one person with a kill ability or something like that. You know, just keep it simple. Yeah, that's what I would do. All right, moving on. Something along those lines. Oh no. Okay, so this is a very foreign name, a very not America name, and I don't know how to pronounce it at all. So I am going to pronounce this in a way that it looks on my screen, and I know I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but here we go. This role was created by Steponkus Siponus. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've just totally butchered your entire language. But there are characters in this language that I do not know how to pronounce. So I'm sorry. That's just what it looks like to me. Uh, they have come up with a role called the Martyr. The Martyr is an innocent role, okay? And they have a light ability. So the light ability is uh, if a player kills you, the player who killed you can't use kill abilities for 2 rounds. Okay. Interesting. That's really similar to the child, isn't it? That's really similar to the child. It's just a more powerful child. But they also have a passive here. Um, the passive is if your alignment gets changed to undead, you die. That's so random. That's really random. This is just a really random set of abilities here. So if your alignment gets changed to undead, you die. But like, you know, your alignment would stay, right? So you could still win with the undead alignment, assuming that the undead alignment wins post your death. But that light ability, it doesn't really add much, does it? Um it punishes the undead because child doesn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do see that. I do see that actually. Yeah, because if you're infected by the undead, the child doesn't get to use their ability on you. Um, because you don't die, you know, you don't die necessarily. Um, but like in most cases, right? Yeah, I do agree with Lil Puddin on this one. It's not that big of a difference. Like, if you get infected, you get infected. You know, like if you're infected now, it doesn't matter if you're dead or alive or whatever. Like if the undead alignment wins, you win, and if they lose, you lose. So like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you're dead to the undead. You know what I mean? And like the player who killed you can't use the kill ability for 2 rounds. Like I feel like in most cases that would be the ability that gets used, and that is just a stronger child. Eh, I'm a bit indifferent on this one. I'm a bit indifferent. I don't know. I don't know what I would do to change this one necessarily. I just think that the role that it wants to fill, like the role like in the game, not the role like the card. I think the role that it fills is already filled. And like the passive is just a little bit too, I don't know. Like it wouldn't really benefit anyone very much, really. So I think I'm going to put this in mid, and I think, oh no, this is the second mid. This is the second mid roll, the second mid roll that I have. Oh no, now I need to type out this name on my phone, and I don't know how to get these characters. I don't know how to get these characters on my phone. Oh, it's so weird. It's such a weird set of characters. Uh, okay, I think I might have actually found that one. We're fine. We're fine. I should say right now that just because any role is placed in um like good or great doesn't mean that they have absolutely no chance of making it into the fan made expansion. I think that anything above, like anything that's on par with or above good, has a chance to make it into the fan made expansion, but the ones that are like at the top are the most likely just because like they're really good. They're worthy, as I'm saying. Um okay, we're going to move on. We're moving on. How long can I do this? How long can I talk about rules? Let's find out. We have another roll by LF. LF has gone crazy with making rolls in the early. I mean, LF has made a lot of rolls in general, honestly. This roll is called the Provoker. The Provoker is part of the Innocent alignment, and they have a light ability. And when they play their card, they name an alignment. And that alignment that they name can't kill anyone until you die. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. I kind of like that, you know? Like, think about that. So, you name an alignment. Let's say you name the murderous alignment, right? Like, you've revealed your card. Everyone knows that you're the provoker now, right? And the killer could just, like, not bother killing you if you were some other role, right? But because you're the provoker, they're forced to waste a round killing you. Or, like, quote unquote, waste a round. It might not be a waste, like, for the killer specifically, but, like, it could be a waste in any given round to, like, kill that, right? And and like say that like no one is willing to kill this person, or say that no one can kill this person. I mean, I suppose the killer would be able to, but what if they chose not to and then no one else was able to do anything? Like, that would mean that the private eye wouldn't be able to shoot the killer. Like, private eye wouldn't be able to shoot the killer at all. Oh. So, like, if the killer left this person alive, right, in that specific situation, killer leaves that person alive, private eye now can't kill the killer. And the killer could just let the game drag out. Oh, hey, what's up, Jamal? Glad you could make it. You missed about 14 rolls. We've talked about 14 rolls in 2 hours. So yeah, we've been talking a bit. Lil Puddin says they likely wouldn't pick innocent. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't make sense for them to pick innocent, probably. Oh, well, that alignment can't... Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for them to pick innocent. It probably wouldn't make sense for them to pick dark innocent either, considering that they're part of the innocent alignment, right? It wouldn't make sense for them to pick people on their own team. So they would be selecting, you know, undead, murderous, hungry, and none, or neutral. I guess they could select any of those, any of the other ones except for innocent and dark innocent. But it's an interesting idea. It's a very interesting idea. Oh man. I'm worried that there is something about this that could break the game. Unless you think that they're about to kill another innocent. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, that'd be a pretty rare case, though. I don't know if you'd even want to do that, even if that was the case. You might want to just let that person be wrong, because, like, otherwise you're locking it in so that, like, you have to die before anyone else. and you might not even know who you're fighting for. Oh no. Are we discussing official roles or community ones? Just need an idea of which roles we're discussing. Oh yeah. Um we're discussing community made roles right now. I'm just going down my list and I'm sort of sorting them into tiers. Uh so right now I've sorted quite a few, but like we have like the worthy of fan made expansion tier, the great tier, the good tier, the mid tier, the needs work tier, and then there's 3 tiers that are not ranked. That are the your joke is funny tier, the it's broken tier, and the does not fit tier. I'm not gonna go into the details there because we'll get more into that later, but that's the basics. Lil Pun says you could use this ability to stop the maniac. Yeah, you kinda could. You kinda could do it, yeah. This role definitely has practical applications. It definitely can do things like to the game. And huh. I think this works. I think it works. I think it's good. Do I put it in great? Do I think it's great or do I think it's good? I don't know. I think it might be great. I think it might be great. I think I'm going to put it in great. I'm thinking a lot. it's it's interesting. I think maybe with only a couple of tweaks, or maybe even none, it could work. It could work in the game. So I am going to put it in great. Nice one, LF. All right, we're moving on to the next one. We have a new contender in the ring. This role was created by Blue Ninja 4615. Why do people have a combination of 4 random numbers after their name? Is that like a YouTube thing? Like, does YouTube automatically generate 4 random numbers after their name? Because if so, that's super annoying. I don't know, whatever. So anyways, Blue Ninja created a role called the Cat Lady. And the Cat Lady is a neutral role. Okay. Cat Lady is neutral, and they have a dark ability. Dark ability is you give your role card to another player face down. If that player dies, they must place this card in front of them face up, as well as their role card face up. The player that killed the recipient may kill another player immediately? Whoa, okay, so hold up. Analysis mode. I need analysis here. So the cat lady gives their card to another player. That's the first step. Face down. Okay. And then if the recipient of that card dies, right? They play the cat lady's card and their role card, right? So they're playing 2 role cards at once, but their role card doesn't do anything, only the cat lady's does. So it's basically like they're playing the cat lady's card and they're revealing their role card if they still have it. Then afterwards, the recipient. Oh wait, no. Oh, whoa. Okay, wait. Though this is different. This is different. The player that killed the recipient may kill another player immediately. What? Oh. That is so bizarre. That is so bizarre. Okay. So, if I'm understanding this right, so you give your card away, and then if that player dies, the person that killed that player gets to kill again for free. That would reveal whoever killed them, though. because this would happen during the day. Because they wouldn't know that they got this or that they were killed until, after the lights out phase. So this would happen during the day, during like the discussion or the investigation. So that means that whoever did the killing would get revealed, but in that moment, like before anyone is even able to do anything because it's part of this cat lady ability, they would get an extra kill. Ah. They can choose to out themselves for another kill. Um Oh, you know what? You're right, Little Puddin'. It does say may kill another player immediately. It doesn't say that they must kill another player immediately. Ooh. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot, actually. Oh, this is really good. I I think this might be worthy. This might be worthy. Mini X Killer is spicy. It really is, isn't it? It really is. I do like this ability set a lot. It's really interesting. And there's nothing like this. There's nothing like this in base Massacards. I mean, obviously. What an interesting way to kill someone. I'm always looking for unique ways to, add a new way to kill someone into Massacards. So, like, this is a really good one. I might put this in worthy. I think this is worthy. I'm putting the cat lady in worthy. Cat girl and Massacards easy S tier. Oh, Sai Eye. You're absolutely gonna love the fact that the shapeshifter used to be called the werewolf. Here's a bit of development lore. I know I'm gonna have to do a whole other podcast on this with my friends and stuff. I'm just doing this by myself right now, but the werewolf, not the werewolf, the shapeshifter in Massacards, it used to be called the werewolf. That was their original name. They were called the werewolf, and that was before the great rebrand, I like to call it, where everything got rebranded so that I didn't step on any toes. In the end, I mean, obviously, the shapeshifter has a very unique set of skills that is not anything like werewolf or One Night Ultimate Werewolf or anything like that, but originally that was the idea. So it's cool to see how far it's come. That makes more sense why they're hungry. Yeah, I mean, I tried to include it in their lore a bit too, why they're hungry. Uh, Catgirl and Massacards will get me to buy 13 copies. Like what? Like, there's just going to be like a paw print symbol on the card, and that's what you're buying the game for 13 times? I don't know. I mean, I'd be happy if you bought 13 copies. I can't seem to find this role on the Discord server. Is it found somewhere else? Yes. So some of these are from YouTube comments. In fact, a good chunk of them are from YouTube comments, and I think it's about like 50-50 split between YouTube and Discord, honestly. So if you don't see it, good luck finding it because it's buried in the comments somewhere. I'm putting the cat lady into the worthy tier because I think it is worthy. That is a very unique idea, a very good idea. A lot of shenanigans can ensue there. I enjoy. Thank you. All right, moving on. We have another one by LF. LF is really popular today. Okay. This one is called the Amalgam. Okay, this one is called the Amalgam. How weird. The Amalgam. They are part of the non-alignment, and they have the conquer enemy's objective. Oh no. Okay. This this ability is ridiculous. This ability says pick 3 abilities. That's it. That's actually it. Pick three abilities. It doesn't even say what. I mean, I'm assuming this is a light ability, or maybe it's a passive. I don't know. Pick three abilities. Jamal says the frail and the fool's ability insta win. I mean, uh, it wouldn't be an insta win because they have the conquer enemies objective. So logically speaking, if this person was to pick three three abilities from the entire game, what would they pick? Probably the Maniac's ability, probably a dark kill of some variety, like the Ripper's ability. Or no, they would probably just want a dark kill because they want to kill everyone. And then they could have a passive that's just they revive themselves or something dumb. I mean, I know that might not be that's not a thing. That's not a thing, but this is broken. I think this is a very easy the first in the your joke is not funny tier. I don't know if this is a joke. I think this is meant to be taken seriously. Unfortunately, I think this is broken. I think there are too many things that you could possibly do that completely shatter the game. Like I'm not going to go through the entire deck right now and like figure out how broken it can get. But, I the first thing that comes to mind is the lawyer. I mean, what if what if you just picked three of the same ability and you were just picked the lawyer three times and you extended the rounds of the game by three? Like, I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, but that's something that you could do. And the fact that that's an option is not good. Or, alternatively, like, say you picked the Maniac's ability three times, right? You could kill three people during the lights on phase. What? It's just, it can't work. It can't work. Or stack three of royalty. Oh my gosh, you're so right. Fool times three. Uh it could break the game. It's broken. I'm not even gonna give it any more thought. It is broken. I'm putting it in the it's broken tier. It's broken. I do like the name though. I mean, I don't know why I would ever like the name, but I do like the name. I do like the name Amalgam. All right, moving on. Oh, hey, look who it is. It's Sci Eye. Hey, Sci Eye, are you still here? I'm gonna talk about one of your roles. Oh yeah. Okay, Sci Eye. Here we go. This is the multi-sided. The multi-sided is part of the unknown alignment. Oh, you did it. You you made them start as the unknown alignment. Okay, all right. It would be revolutionary. It'd be revolutionary. Um, so it has a dark ability, changing sides. Pick a person to see their role card and immediately gain their alignment. If it is the none, innocent, or unknown alignment, you are part of the dark innocent alignment. If the recipient is murderous, they die. If they're part of dark innocent or undead, nothing happens. And if they're hungry, they're devoured. Okay. All right, there's a lot. There is a lot to that dark ability. It kind of reminds me of the judge, like because the judge it does a different thing to each character depending on their alignment. So it does remind me of that because it's a similar set of things here. So dark ability, yes, they change sides. So you pick a person and then that person gives you their role card so you can see it. So I'm assuming it's like a private viewing. Um, um, yeah, Little Puddin says the card needs wording to make it work. How do they learn? Yeah, I am assuming it would just be. Oh, you know what? This might be like best used since this is a dark ability, right? It might be similar to like any of the box abilities, I like to call them, where you give your card to someone and then that person has to put their card on the box. And then the next time you can look at the box, like the card that's on the box, and you see what it is, right? And then you give that card back to whoever or whatever. um like the psychic, for example, or like the snitch. Like they have abilities like that. And I'm assuming that an ability would work like that, like this ability specifically because it's dark. Either that or like if it was a light ability, which it's not here, but it could be, right? Well, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to treat this as a dark ability. It's a dark ability. So it would probably be a box ability. And then, so yeah, the person you give your card to would put their card, assuming they have it, on the box. And then next lights out, you look at that card. And then all of this stuff happens. So if it's none, innocent, unknown, you turn into dark innocent. So you go from unknown to dark innocent. Okay. And then if the recipient is murderous, they die. And then if they're dark innocent or undead, nothing happens. And if they're hungry, they're devoured. Interesting. It's interesting. The ability kills. Yeah. Yes, the ability does kill. It kills murderous and hungry specifically. Yes. Yes. I do see that. And if they're dark innocent or undead, nothing happens. So okay, so this is like a probability. Oh wait, Side Eye's chipping in here. No, it kills the next recipient. Is this a hot potato card? is is that what this is designed to be? Is this card meant to be uh is this meant to be given again? Like cuz if so, that changes everything. That does change everything. If it's not meant to be a hot potato though, like it's like it's like a probability based thing where yeah. Okay. It it's a one that, okay, yeah. Yes, so that okay. So you are saying that this is an ability that's meant to be used multiple times. So this is a hot potato card then, because if it's a dark ability that's not a kill, then this card is given. And if it's meant to be given multiple times, then this would be a hot potato card. Um, so if this is a hot potato card, right, then it would have all of the text on it that, like, the protector has that says something like, oh, if you're given this card, you can give it again as a dark ability, or you can give it again as a light ability next round. Like, it can say all of that stuff on it, right? That's what makes a card a hot potato card. I didn't have that written down. I don't know if he went back and edited this or not. But that's okay. So it's good to know that it's a hot potato. So knowing that it's a hot potato card now, um, if it's innocent, if you give it to someone who's innocent or unknown or dark innocent, then nothing happens. Oh no. If it's given to non-innocent or unknown, you are dark innocent. That's what it says. So okay. So a hot potato card that could potentially turn people into dark innocent, like multiple times, right? Um. Oh, Sai says This could be used multiple times by the same person. Um, really? uh, okay. If it's meant to be used multiple times by the same person, okay. If it's meant to be used multiple times by the same person, sorry, I'm running through like math in my head right now. I'm trying to, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about like the exact mechanics of how this role would work. So um, it was my first role. I did not know much about the game. It's okay, Sai. It's okay. I mean, like I said, you've been one of the most active role creators, and I know you've made a lot of good roles. I'm just I'm trying to think this role through all the way because this one is pretty complex. It's a pretty complex role. There's a lot going on with it, and yeah. So it's a dark ability. It's a dark ability. Yes, and you immediately pick a person and you gain their alignment. If it's none, innocent, or unknown, you're dark innocent. And if the recipient is murderous, they die. If it's hungry, they die. Okay. So basically this would go from unknown to unknown. Like the role, like the alignment of this role would go from unknown to unknown, which would be a first. Because you don't know what you are until you know the role of that player that you gave your card to. Because it could be any of like. Oh wait a minute, actually. It, okay, no wait, it wouldn't be unknown to unknown because the only alignment that you could possibly change to is dark innocent. Because if you give it to none, innocent, or unknown, you become dark innocent. And then the rest, so like murderous and hungry or kill, and then if you give it to dark innocent or undead, then nothing happens. So really, the only alignment that you can change to is dark innocent. So it would be unknown to dark innocent, but there's a chance, like there's a chance that you might not change at all. Like there's a chance that you will change, but there is a chance that you won't change into a dark innocent. But it's very possible, considering that innocent is the most common alignment in most games, and there is at least one other dark innocent in the game because you'll have the private eye there with you. Um, so potentially two, since this is part of the unknown, not a dark innocent. Okay. So now, okay, so you've used your ability. You do this. Let's say you. Oh well, yeah, okay, okay. No, I think I actually I get it. I understand it now. I think I actually get it. So if they're, objectively bad, if they're objectively bad, like the hungry or murderous, then they die, and that benefits you because the only thing that you can become is dark innocent, and you don't want anyone that's hungry or murderous to kill you. So if they die, then that helps you, right? Um, and then if it's undead, nothing happens because they have the ability to infect you, and that would change your alignment to undead. Anyway, if they did infect you, so that wouldn't be an issue for you necessarily. It would give you a purpose after that point. And then if it's innocent or unknown or none, you become dark innocent, and now you have even more reason to give your card to other people. Um, You have more reason to give this card to other people because you have a chance of killing the killer with it, basically. And you have a chance of eliminating the hungry from the game. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat because I've been thinking. Sai says, no, I clarified that if you pick none or innocent, you become dark innocent, but if it's a different alignment, it gains that alignment. Oh, was that changed? Was that changed in the... Was that changed later, like after I wrote it down or whatever? Because if so, yeah, okay. If you're still working on this role, it looks like you are, then I can just throw it in needs work, honestly. I do like it. I do like where it's going. Yeah. Oh, no? This wasn't a thing that got added later? Oh, well, regardless. It seems that you do agree that it does need work, though. I mean, like... Yeah, it definitely should be there. Well, I think that there is definitely something here. Like, there's like, it is a little bit complex with the way that it's worded, but like, that's just whatever. Like anything can be reworded, to be a little bit more simplified. But like the idea of this role, I do really like because you're going from something to dark innocent, and then you have a more reason to do things, and and like it's like extra steps for someone to complete, and like in a good way, like most, like a couple of hungry alignment people have. Jamal says, I'm assuming we're staying on YouTube comments for a while since there was a ton of roles that were created before the Discord server, I'm assuming. Yeah. I'm assuming a big chunk of these first few are indeed all YouTube. Wasn't part of the Massacard community until the first Uno Amalgam came out, so I'm not up to date. I don't blame you. A lot of people are. A lot of people are. Like, fans. Lil Puddin says, alright, I survived till 2:30, but I need to go. See you in 3 days when you finish 10% of these. Wow, thanks, Little Puddin. I wish you luck doing whatever you're doing. Thanks for showing up to the stream. All right, we're gonna move on from the multi-sided. I am going to put it in needs work, just because it does need just a little bit of work. It needs a little bit of work. But it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not bad. Okay. All right. Moving on. We're moving on. We talked about that one for a really long time. Oh, no. I don't even want to look like how long I've been recording. Oh, I guess I can't really tell. I mean, I can tell, but I'd have to like exit out of this tab. Sai says, when I made my idea, it was like a day before the Discord was made. Oh, rip. Well, now that the Discord has been up and running for a really long time, like it's pretty easy to get feedback on roles too, which is good. Jamal says, the only role I helped out with is probably going to take a week to get to with how many community roles there are. Yeah, there's over 300. There's over 300 of them, Jamal. So, if yours was anytime recent, it's going to be a while. Okay. It's been 2 hours and 33 minutes. Thanks. All right. Maybe I'll go for 4 hours or something, or approximately 4 hours. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. We're moving on. Next we have a role by a newcomer, Mr. Tio Bruh 977. Okay. Mr. Tio Bruh 977, what do you got? They have a role called The Obsessed. Interesting. I don't know if this role was created before the Obsessed video was released or not. I mean, there's always a chance that it was, but there's also always a chance that it wasn't, because I don't expect everyone to remember all 200 roles that I've created, especially since not all of them have even been released yet. So, Oh, Sai says it was made earlier. How do you know that? Are you writing these down too? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Like I said, like the name and stuff, like, I'll take the name into account slightly, but like it's the mechanics that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the mechanics, really. So this is the Obsessed. They're part of the None alignment. And they have the Defend objective. So that's the one where you need to protect the player to your right. And if the player to your right survives, you win, right? They have a passive ability that says, if your right neighbor dies, you die as well. Okay. Okay, interesting. And they have a dark ability that is, kill the player closest to your neighbor that isn't you. Okay. And they have a light ability that says, oh, okay, wait. The light ability, in order to be used, your right neighbor must be dead. Oh my gosh. It's another Maniac ability. What is with the Maniac? Do you guys really like the Maniac? Is that the deal? Or is that just about when this first set of roles came out, like around the time the Maniac video came out? Because people really like the Maniac's light ability for some reason. Reoccurring light ability that you can kill one player per round. That's what this character has. So they have a light ability that is a kill per round, but your neighbor must be dead. But also, you have a dark ability that allows you to kill the player closest to your neighbor that isn't you. But also, if your neighbor dies, you die as well. So you'll never be able to use your light ability. You'll never be able to use your light ability because you have to be dead. Like, you will be dead. That's interesting. Oh, Jamal has to peace out. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Jamal. But it was good to have you here. I will, see you whenever. Have a good time doing whatever you're doing. I believe this role will go in the "It's Broken" category because it is in fact broken. You'll never be able to use your light ability because you'll be dead, and yeah. Like, you can't use your light ability if you're dead. So I am sorry to say that this is going in the "It's Broken." I feel like there have been a lot of roles that have been going in the "It's Broken" category. However, I do think that this is something that gets better as the roles get deeper and deeper into the list, because people like understand more like the game, like they get the mechanics a bit more, and like, for people that make multiple roles, like they understand the game even better. And also the Discord server, like I said previously, is like a really good way to communicate with people about your role ideas and stuff. So yeah, I think just as we go, it'll get better. Like, as far as like having less roles that are just blatantly broken. And like I said, broken roles are not, bad. I just think, like, they're broken, they gotta be fixed. They just gotta be fixed, and then they'll be fine. If you fix a role and then resubmit it, I'll end up talking about it again eventually. Okay. Moving on, we have a role by another newcomer named Aardvark. And Aardvark has made a role called the Mimic. Once again, I don't know if this role was created, pre or post me releasing my Mimic video. But anyway, regardless, the Mimic is part of the None alignment. Ooh. They have no objectives. They have no objectives. Interesting. Okay. What else has to go on here? You do not maintain any attributes of roles you steal for more than one round. Okay, so this one is going to have like a stealing mechanic. Light ability. When another player dies, place your roll card and all of your clue cards face up. Take the roll and clue cards of the dead player. You're now that roll for one round. Oh. Ooh. What? That's my reaction. That's my honest reaction to this one. What a zany thing. So, you have no objectives, but when you play your light ability, you gain all of the objectives of the roll card that you steal, right? Okay, so this whole thing about the clue cards, it says like when another player dies, you place your roll card and all of your clue cards face up. So that means you're revealing all of your clue cards. And then you steal the clue cards from the dead player as well. So like all of the clue cards are revealed regardless because that player already died. So there's really no reason to steal them or to reveal your own for that matter. Quinwood says, I feel like it's unbalanced as people can't comprehend how it will interact with every role, especially the unreleased ones. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, in general, yeah. Like, there are some roles that are going to be unbalanced in these early ones just because, yeah, they don't know the full scope of the game. And that's that's just something that happens. But, like, in general, I feel like the ones that we've put in It's Broken like usually they just directly contradict themselves. Like they have a role that like they don't have they have an ability that's impossible to use because like they have a different ability that like will always 100% of the time prevent them from using it, like things like that, and it's all based off of like basic mechanics. So like I don't know, like there's a bit of variety in there too, but I think that's the biggest problem with the broken rules so far is that just they contradict themselves. So if you really like think about the wording of what you're doing, like when you're writing stuff down, I think you can piece it together like, oh, wait a minute. If this, then this, like you think like a coder. Yeah, and I'm not a coder, so I don't think like one often, but I have to when I'm making roles like this. Back to the mimic though, So for one round, you are a different role. And so then I'm assuming after that round ends, you lose that role, and therefore your objectives. And because that was a light ability, you can no longer win, right? So the strategy for this role would be to use this ability on the final round. Or what they assume will be the final round if they don't think it's actually going to be the final possible round. Like they have to use this ability when they think the final round is happening, okay? And then the game has to end and then they have to win with whatever they get. I think this role is a little bit too difficult. Like it's too challenging and it's a little bit too RNG based. It's a little bit too random. Like the safest thing to do with this role is to wait until what you think is the final round, which it might not even be the final round. And then you steal someone else's role, right? And then you have to win that same round. Because if you don't win the game during that same round, you effectively lose. So it might be too difficult, especially if you get unlucky. Like if you get unlucky and you pick something like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of think if you picked like the liar. Like the liar currently is one of the hardest roles to win as in Massacards, and if you picked the liar, or like something like a none alignment roll with like a really specific, win condition, and now you only have one round to do it, and you just learned that you're that role, and you have to do it in the final round as well, like to be safe. It seems a little bit difficult. It seems a little bit too difficult. So I'm going to throw this one in the needs work category. And I think, how would I change this? How would I make this work? I'm gonna write this down first. So the mimic was made by Aardvark. So how would I figure this out? Sai says the best strategy is to hope the boss is in the game. You're so right. Yeah. Yeah, you need to hope that there is someone else in this game that can give you objectives or change your alignment, Like, that's your best bet with this role, because, like, getting the ability to work the normal way is a little too hard. So, yeah. Maybe that's something that could benefit this role, like, though. That's something that could benefit the mimic. Maybe they could have, like, an indirect way to give themselves a different objective or a different alignment. Like, maybe it's a multi-step process similar to, like, hungry characters. Something like that, where, like, they would be able to... Yeah, they would just be able to potentially give themselves an objective and a way to win. So they aren't stuck with this really difficult win condition. That's a good one. That's a good one. Like a good solution, I would say. Okay, we're moving on. We have another one by Aardvark here. So Aardvark has two in a row. It's called the Spirit of Vengeance. Still going strong, are we? Yeah, Alex, did you dip out and then dip back in? I'm trying. I might record for like another hour. Who knows? Okay. Oh, you grabbed some dinner. Good job. Nice. Okay, so the Spirit of Vengeance. What's the deal with the Spirit of Vengeance by Aardvark? They are part of the Murderous Alignment. And they are... No, they have a new objective. Okay, so they have a brand new objective, and it is you want to be the last one standing. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. That's a pretty, I think that's a pretty, like, no-brainer sort of objective for this kind of game. Oh, God. Gosh dang it. So this is the same. The light ability is the maniac's ability again. Oh, am I gonna have to start like deducting points for unoriginality because the maniac is such a common light ability? We are 24 rolls in. This is the 24th roll. Oh, also this roll has a dark kill ability. So they have a dark kill ability and a maniac ability, which makes them it makes them more powerful than the killer. Oh, welcome to the chat, GML Gaming 007. You missed 23 rolls. We're talking about the 24th roll now, the Spirit of Vengeance by Aardvark. They're part of the Murderous Alignment, and a common theme that I've been seeing is that people really like to put the Maniac ability on different rolls. And just as a reminder, the Maniac's ability is a reoccurring light ability. It allows them to kill once per round, basically. During like discussion and investigation, they can kill once. And it refreshes every round. And it has been very frequent. It has been very frequent in a lot of these roles. So I don't know. This Spirit of Vengeance role is more powerful than the killer, and they're murderous. Because, okay, so they have a light ability That's the same as the Maniacs, and they have a dark ability, which is a kill ability. So that means that they could kill 2 people per round. That's so powerful. They could kill 2 people per round every round. And why do they even have this objective? They have a new objective that is to be the last one standing. Then why are they part of the murderous alignment? Why are they part of that? Because they would have to kill the killer too if that's the case. I mean, it would make more sense if they were none, if they were going to have this special objective. But also, like, if they didn't have this special objective and they were part of the murderous alignment, then they would just be busted. They'd just be busted, overpowered. They would just be a little bit busted. Now I know that like the Renegade is basically just a second killer, and that's really powerful to have like just effectively 2 killers in the game, right? But this is more powerful than that. It's a great role for the 200 player mode. I mean, sure, Alex. Yeah, you're right. But who the heck is gonna get 200 people together to play this game? It's a game mode that doesn't even exist yet. Yet. I say yet because I'm really hesitant to even try and do anything like that. Spirit of Vengeance, I think I'm going to put it in needs work. It needs work. You can make it at $1.99. Yeah, okay. All right. I believe you. I'm going to put Spirit of Vengeance in the needs work category. Also, I got to say that name, the name of this role, the Spirit of Vengeance, that is extra, but in a good way. Like, you know, there are spirits in the game. There are ghosts and things like that. And, you know, there are, like, roles with 3 words in their name, like Deity of Death. I think that might be the only one, actually. But Spirit of Vengeance, that's metal. That's metal. Moving on. We have another newcomer here, another new person making roles. Or this is the first role that they've given me, anyway. Dodo Burb. Dodo Burb is their name. They have made a role called the Amnesiac. And the Amnesiac is part of the Nun alignment. And they have a new objective as well. The new objective being, you win if your teammate wins. Okay. I don't know what that means yet. We're going to talk about the abilities. Dark ability. Your passive must be triggered. Kill another player. Okay. So they have a dark kill, but their passive ability must be active before they can use it. Okay. And so they have a passive ability. It is this. You join the alignment of anyone that uses an ability on you during the lights out phase. Huh. It kind of reminds me of the Lost a little bit. I mean, the Lost gets to choose their alignment, but like this one, you join the alignment of anyone that uses an ability on you during the lights out phase. Huh. There is a chance that you wouldn't know what alignment you're joining. There is a chance, but that's not all bad. Honestly thought that this one was going to be hot garbage. Why would you say that? It's not. I don't think this is hot garbage. I think there's definitely something here. I will say though. Okay, one thing about this. The name Amnesiac. I know that Amnesiac is a character in Werewolf, and also possibly other hidden role games. And while I know that I do have a couple of roles, like The Witness, for example, that do have overlapping names with other hidden role games, I try to avoid it whenever possible because I don't want to step on any toes. And that's also why I'll never add the imposter to this game. So, oh, it's in Town of Salem as well? See, I thought so. Like amnesiac is such a common thing. And I know that like jester, like the role jester is really common in a bunch of hidden role games. So that's why I renamed mine to the fool, cuz like I wanted the concept there. Um you overlapped an entire game with the witness. Are you referring to Deception, Murder in Hong Kong? I'm assuming you are. Because I have played that game, and like obviously Massacards takes inspiration from it, because Massacards takes inspiration from like every hidden role game I've ever seen. But like Massacards is a very different experience. I will say that. Like when you're playing Deception, there's like there's no danger. There's no threat, you know? Because like the killer can't kill anyone. Like no one can do anything. Like the only thing that people can do is speculate based off of the forensic scientists you know, like stuff that they do. And that's like the whole game. It's all one big mechanic, you know? Um but like when you're playing as the witness and you only have 3 vague words to tell an entire story, it's a much different experience. And also, you know, things are revealed gradually throughout the game. And, you know, players get to do things other than just speculate about clue cards. I mean, every character has a unique ability, except for the ones that don't. Plus, there is no voting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, unless we add that one role from earlier that adds the voting as a light ability for a character, but that's a different story. You know what I meant. Okay, back. We're off topic. We're off topic. We're talking about the amnesiac. Um, so you win if your teammate wins, and you can kill people, but only if your passive ability is triggered, and your passive ability is activated when someone uses any ability on you. Right? And you join the alignment of whoever used the ability on you. Okay. But I don't know if the you win if your teammate wins objective really needs to be there. I think this really could just be a none alignment that changes into unknown, because like they could theoretically join any alignment. Um like they could theoretically join any alignment and then you would be able to win with them unless it was none. So like in most cases anyway. So like I don't know if that new objective really needs to be there at all. But like chances are, right? Only about 64 rules until I show up. I'm so sorry, GML Gaming. I probably won't get that far today. I'm not going to talk for that long. But back to this passive. Like, if in most cases, right, the most common ability in the game is kill, right? The most common ability in the game is a kill ability. So if someone uses an ability on you, there's a good chance that it's them killing you, right? And if you die, right, so you're dead because that person just used their ability on you, then you wouldn't really be able to use your dark ability because that's a kill ability that you're dead and now you can no longer use. But you're part of the alignment of the person that killed you, but they don't know that because you're dead. If you die, you're dead. That's yeah. I said that. Or I didn't. I don't know. It's funny. It's true. It's a true statement. I think I think this role might be good if we just simplify it to its base components. Like right now, I think it's good. I think it's good, but it could be better if it was literally just you join the alignment of the player that kills you. And it's as simple as that. You know? Like, you die, but you've been killed by someone, and now you're part of their alignment. Now at the end of the game, if they win, you win too. Huzzah. It would be a nice little surprise. I think that might be a better way to handle this. Like, I understand that, like, the intention here was to give them a kill ability as well, but, like, you don't know who you're killing in most cases. Like, if you're gonna have an ability used on you, chances are you don't even know what's happening. You don't know who you want to kill until the next lights out phase, assuming you have one. How would this work with none? How would my version work with none, or how would this version work with none? Because, like, how would this version work with none is ooh. Oh wait, yeah, you actually have a point here. It might not work in either version. So if if a none ability was to be used on you, say, okay, so let's say a none role had a kill ability, like the Slaughterer, for example. The Slaughterer has a kill ability, and they're part of the none alignment. Let's say they kill you. Now you're part of the none alignment, but how do you win? You don't, probably. You just lose. You probably just lose. I don't think there would be any way around that, unfortunately. And that might be a breaker. Or maybe it's in the needs work. Maybe there would just have to be a special clause for, like, none alignments specifically. Like, if the none alignment wins, then you win, even though, like, it's like you're separate people in the none alignment. Like, maybe you would still win regardless, like, just because, like, that's the gimmick. I don't know. There's some stuff that could be done there. I'm going to put it in needs work. Amnesiac, and this was made by Dodoburb. Nice. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so this next one was made by Cooking Cat. It looks like. Cooking parentheses cat parentheses. Interesting. This role is called the Investigator, and they are part of the Dark Innocent alignment. And they have a light. Wait, okay, yeah. So they have a light ability, and you play your card to reveal 2 clue cards of another player. Okay. Nothing objectively wrong with that, I don't think. But then they have a dark ability as well, because they are Dark Innocent. So you give your card to another player to force them to reveal 1 clue card at the start of the next round. And this is a hot potato card. The rest of this text is all about hot potato stuff. Okay. I don't dislike it. So here's the gambit, right? You can only use the light ability, or you can only use the dark ability effectively, unless the card gets passed back to you at some point. Then you'd be able to use your light ability afterwards. But, like, because the dark ability forces you to give your card away, you wouldn't be able to play the light ability. And because the light ability forces you to play your card, you wouldn't be able to use the dark ability, because that would involve you giving it away. So they effectively lock each other out, right? But if you give it as a dark ability, then it comes back. Like, say, there's a chance that it comes back to you. There's also a chance that it might not come back to you. So this is, like, a really risky... It's a risky, like, gambit. Like, if you want to be safe, you can play it as a light ability. And then that would force one player to guaranteed reveal 2 clue cards. So you're getting for sure 2 revealed clue cards. But if you play it as a dark, there's a chance that it could reveal more clue cards down the line. But there's also a chance that you just gave this card to a murderous person, or someone who doesn't care, like a nun alignment person, and then they just never give their card away. Or you could give it to someone, and then that person dies, and then they wouldn't be able to give that card away. And so then you would potentially have less than 2 clue cards revealed. So that's the gambit there. And honestly, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Like, I do like that it makes you think, it makes you think, like, what is the best thing for me to do right now? Do I just force someone to reveal 2 clue cards? Or do I risk it and give it to someone else in hopes that maybe more clue cards can be revealed later? It's good. It's good. I think I am going to put it in good. In the good tier. Like, it's simple. It's interesting. I think the creators thought the dark ability wouldn't force you to give the card, says GML Gaming. Potentially, but like the way it's worded, I mean, like, I can only interpret it as that, Like, so I say that they didn't assume, like, okay, say that this ability was not a give your card ability. Well, actually, it has to be. It physically has to be. There's no way around it. Because, well, no, maybe not actually. No, yeah, it does have to be that way. Sorry, I'm overthinking. It does have to physically be a give your card ability because there's no other way to tell another player what's going on other than giving your card. Like, it's either a kill ability, so you tap someone on the hand. That's what, like, tapping on the hand is for. Like, tapping on the hand is for killing, infecting, and devouring. But there would be no way to convey what's happening without giving the card to someone, especially since this is a hot potato card. So, like, this has to be a give your card no matter what, even though it's like not specifically specified here. Like, it does say stuff about like hot potato stuff here. So, like, I think it would have to be a give your card. And I do stand by that. I think I am going to put it in good. I don't think it's like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like spectacular. I do think that it's interesting and it could definitely work in the game. But yeah, that's just what's up. There's nothing objectively wrong with it, so that's good. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Here's a character. I'm assuming that this person is probably going to. Oh, Sai is going to leave. Bye, Sai. It was good. It was good to have you here. Yeah, I got to talk about one of Sai's roles previously, and like, yeah, that was fun. And Sai has a lot more roles on this list in general, but I don't know how far I'm gonna get. But the next person has made a lot of roles. Smile from the Discord server. I know that Smile has made a lot of roles. And this was the first one that they made, as far as I know. It's called the Gossip. And the Gossip is part of the Innocent alignment. Okay. So, they have an ability, so they play their card and pick a player. So I'm assuming that this is a light ability. Okay. The Gossip has to guess that player's role. And if they are right about the role, that player dies and you get your card back. And then this ability can be used again. And if you get it wrong, nothing happens. Interesting. Huh. How would this... So this is an innocent with a kill. So, like, immediately comparing it to something like the Vigilante. Like, the fact that this is an innocent with a reoccurring kill. It could be dangerous. But chances are you're going to be wrong with your guess. And you could eliminate, like, oh, well, like, this person claims that they're this. and then you play this card. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, say someone is the mannequin, right? Like one of the most like neutral roles you can possibly be. Like someone is claiming mannequin. And now you play this card and you say you're the mannequin. And now if they are the mannequin, they die. So you know that they were telling the truth. And you get your card back. But if they're lying, then nothing would happen and you would know that they're lying about being the mannequin. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool use for this card. Because getting to know what someone isn't might be just as valuable as knowing what they are. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah. Uh, I do like this. I do like this a lot. Is it worthy? I don't know if it's worthy. I think I might put it in great. And great is great, obviously. It might just need like a tweak, a little bit of an adjustment or two, but otherwise this is really solid. I'm gonna put it in great. I'm putting it in great. And spoiler alert, but like these next few are all made by Smile. GML says, I think the best action for this is to use this after somebody used the light ability. Oh, yeah. You know, like if there was someone that you were up against and then they used their light ability, you could just immediately use the Gossip's ability to kill them. Yeah, that's a really good use for it. It's like Maniac Kryptonite, basically. We're all about the Maniac tonight. Okay, alright. Yeah, moving on from the Gossip, we have the Trickster, also made by Smile. It's called the Trickster. And the Trickster is part of the non-alignment. And the Trickster wins if the killer guesses you as the witness. Shoot, Smile. Shoot. Smile, I'm so sorry, Smile, but that's the Obsessed. That already exists. I'm assuming this was made pre-Obsessed video. I might need to make a new tier for that, actually. A new tier called That Already Exists, and I'm going to put that in that tier. New tier, That Already Exists. And I'm going to put that in there. Trickster by Smile. Sorry, Smile, but like, you know, you're taking a lot of swings, so, and you've already hit one really far, so I wouldn't be too sad about that loss of the Trickster. Up next, we have another one by Smile. This one is called The Cultist. I have noticed that cult-themed roles are quite common, and I don't know why. Is there a reason that cult-themed things are common? Is there like a different hidden role game that has a bunch of cult stuff in it? Or is there something that's popular right now that I don't know about that's cult-related? If so, that might be why. That might be why there's a lot of cult-related things in all of these. In some of these earlier suggestions specifically. Dat Math Boy says, I don't know, mansions and cults go together, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you guys haven't seen this yet because I haven't revealed all of the room cards, but there's definitely like a ritual chamber as one of the rooms in the mansion, so someone write that down. I guess cults really do go with mansions. Okay, so this one is called The Cultist. And they're dark innocent. And they have a new objective called... Wait, what? Wait, they have a new objective? So they're a dark innocent. So they have the kill the killer objective, but they also have a new objective called Form the Cult. Okay, what? Um, it's a hot potato dark ability. So you give your card to someone and it changes them into a cultist. If everyone is in your cult, you win. Huh? Alex says you don't have dark rituals in the basement of your Victorian mansion. I do. I mean, Massacre does. That math boy says, "How do we represent that?" Well, are you talking about the role or are you talking about the dark rituals? This cultist thing seems really random. I'm gonna be honest. Why are they dark innocent? I guess is my main question. Why is this dark innocent? No, not the rituals. Yeah, okay. Let's discuss that. Like, I don't know how we would represent this at all, honestly. Because like, if it's a dark innocent, if it's a dark innocent, why does it need to do all this other stuff? Like, it has the kill the killer objective, sure, but it also has the cult objective. If everyone is in your cult, you win. Like, you win? Just you? Yeah, Alex, you're right. They are a nun, if anything. But that just brings into mind, like, the boss. But also, this just reminds me of the undead in general. Like, the whole point of the undead is that they do this. Like, they absorb people into their alignment, and that's what this is, except it's random. And it has nothing to do with Dark Innocent at all, really. In fact, okay, so this is just a really difficult Dark Innocent to win as, because judging by the wording here, it's only you that wins if everyone is in your cult. So you could win, but you also need to kill the killer. This is just a difficult role in general. I think I'm gonna have to put this in needs work. It might be too difficult, and it might just be conflicting in general, like with what alignment it is. It's just a little bit conflicting. It needs work. It does need work. So I'm gonna put the cultist in uh the needs work tier, and this one was made by Smile again. Um. Oh hey, what's up, Hooray9? It's innocent but harder. If the game ends too fast, you just lose no matter what. Exactly. Yeah, if you were in a small game or a quick game, it'd be almost impossible to win as this role. So yeah, it needs work. It definitely needs work. Moving on. Okay. Oh, Smile. Okay, Smile. So Smile has another one. He uh, Smile has come up with another deity called the Deity of Time. And the Deity of Time is part of the Nun alignment. And they have a new objective as well. So okay, so it's a Nun alignment with a new objective, which is fine. That's like part of the point of the Nun alignment, honestly, is to have like, unique objectives, right? So the new objective is make the game time out by using every round. Okay, so like get to the end of the game by using every possible round in the game. Okay. And they have a light ability to bring a player back to life. Okay, so they have a it's a light ability to bring another player back to life. So it's like Witch Doctor, except it's a light ability. Okay, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Make the game time out by using every round. So this is another one that could win by, um, just having the game end in that specific way. There already is the Demolisher, though, and just to remind people what the Demolisher does, The Demolisher wins if the round timer runs out, but they also make everyone else lose, right? Like that's their gimmick. Like if if they make it to the end, everyone else loses, and if the end happens, everyone else loses. That's the whole point, right? Um but this one is slightly different because you win if you just make it to the end, but it still gives other people the opportunity to win, and you can win alongside other people because of that, kind of making this a neutral, but not really. I think it's good. I think it's good. It's a twist on the Demolisher's ability. I think it's solid. I I think it's definitely in the good tier. I would put this in good. So I'm gonna put Deity of Time in good. Deity of Time, smile. I have to write smile out loud. All right, moving on. What do we got next here? Oh, okay. LF is back. LF is back at it again with the role creating. Whoever said earlier that LF was like the original role creator, yeah. LF kind of went crazy in the beginning and made a bunch of roles. And I think LF still makes roles, if I'm not mistaken. This role is called the Butcher. And they are part of the Hungry alignment. Okay, we got a Hungry. And they have a dark ability. Give this card to another player, and they die, and you take their role card. You can use the abilities on that card once. Okay. So it's a dark ability. They have to give their role card to another player, and then that dead player. Wait, I missed a roll? GML Gaming says I missed a roll. Which one? Is it one in the Discord server? Or like something in the YouTube comments? Follower? I talked about the follower like forever ago. I talked to the follower for like seriously 20 minutes earlier in the stream. No, I'm sorry if you missed that one, but like that was probably the most broken roll that I've ever seen. It had a lot going on. We were very conflicted about the follower. Yeah, you're right, Alex. Yeah, the follower was really it was something else. I put it in the it's broken tier because it was broken in several ways. That's the summary. Okay, sorry, back on track. Back on track to the Butcher. So they give their card to another player and they die, and you take their role card. And then you can use the abilities on that card once. Okay. Alex says the Butcher becomes useless if the target has no light ability. Seems important to point out. Oh, you don't just gain the light ability, you gain all of the abilities on that card. But you can only use each of them once. That's the gimmick. So if the role card that you take has any passive abilities, you would be able to you would just have that passive ability forever because passive abilities don't get used, they just always are, you know? But if it was a dark ability, like a kill, you would only be able to use that once. And if it was a light ability, you would just get to play that card again like normal, and then that would be your light ability play. Oh, I guess the Discord rule was reworked elsewhere. It might have been. I honestly don't know. Or maybe this is just an earlier version. It could have been. I don't know for sure. Because like I said, I record all of this stuff as I see it. Not so if you guys went back and edited, I have no idea. I mean, I might have an idea, but I didn't like take a screenshot or whatever, write it down again later. I just write it down as I see it. Okay, but as far as the Butcher goes, So they're hungry. What what benefit do they get? So they do get to kill someone, which gets them closer to their objective. So that's good. But then you get to use any abilities on the card that you steal once. But, well, you know what? There's actually not... There's not that... I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. Because you might gain nothing, or you might gain something really powerful, and that's luck-based regardless. So, like, it's fine, right? And you could, you could kill the killer with this, but then like the game would be over basically. So there is risk involved, I guess, to using this ability at all, because you don't want to end the game prematurely as hungry. I'm gonna put this one in good. I think this is good because like it's definitely a good concept. I just there might just be a little thing. That role's kind of like the rework I proposed for the skeleton at the very beginning. Oh, you know what? You're actually right. Yeah, you're onto something there. I mean, great minds think alike, clearly. I mean, you guys are super creative. I mean, everyone who's made a role has really put their heart and soul into it. I mean, at least for the most part. No, I'm putting it in good. I'm putting the butcher in good. I think it's good. Oh, hey, look at the next one. So this one was made by Evolved Cactus, and if I'm understanding correctly, Evolved Cactus is LF, and that they're the same person. So if that's the case, we have another LF entry here. Oh, shoot. I just dropped my cards. I'll take any praise I can for the Kevin Hart and Bob. Oh no. According to the Discord, they are the same person. Oh, good to know. Okay, so Evolved Cactus and Elef are the same person. Yay! Okay, so this person has made so much then. Evolved Cactus has made a lot of roles. This one is called the Prosecutor. The Prosecutor is innocent, and they have a vote kill ability. Really? That's all the information that they have? Okay, wait, hold on. So remember when we talked about the politician earlier? That was made by Elef. So, like, if Elef and Evolved Cactus are the same person, then Elef really did submit the same role twice under a different name. And you know what? I actually do like the Prosecutor name way more than the politician name. It's a ripoff from Town of Salem, too. I mean, voting mechanics in general are nothing new in, like, the hidden role game genre, but Massacards doesn't have any. Massacards doesn't have any voting mechanics. So, like, it'd be cool to implement it just to, like, represent that part of the genre, And that's why I actually put the politician from LF in Worthy of the Fan-Made expansion. But I'm just going to change its name right now to the Prosecutor because that's a way better name. I already have, like, courtroom-themed stuff in the game. So that just works way better. And it's the same exact role, so yeah, there it is. You have to shout prosecution as you use the ability. No, you gotta shout objection. Oh jeez. Okay. Take that. Yes. Should I play Ace Attorney on stream sometime? I'm so good at it. Yikes. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on to something else by Evolved Cactus. Oh man, they just keep rolling out the hits. Evolved Cactus has come up with the Foreigner. So the Foreigner is part of the Innocent alignment. And is this a light ability or a dark ability? What is this? Okay, so this must be a light ability. Pick a player and wait. Oh, okay. So Discord says this is a light ability. This is a weird one. So you need to physically flip your card like a coin. Like you need to flip it like a coin, not just reveal it. Like you need to flip it. And if it lands face up, you die. And if it lands face down, the other player dies, like the player that you picked. I think I am going to have to put this one in the does not fit. Like in the does not fit tier. And the reason is it's just Massacards isn't that kind of game. You know, like it's less of like a party game. It would be tricky to flip a card, as Hooray says. Like it would be tricky to flip a card. I agree. Yeah, it's a little janky, and it's like Massacards is way more tame of a party game than the Amalgam is. You know, like it just doesn't quite fit with the vibe. So I'm going to put the Foreigner into the does not fit category. Just because, yeah, that ability, it doesn't quite fit. I'm writing it down. Do. I feel like the Amalgam is beyond a party game. Uh, yeah, you're right about that. It's a torture device. It's basically a torture device now. Alex says, now Massacards has a coin included in the box just for the Foreigner. I want to avoid things like that. I really do not want to have anything like that. I don't want to jack up the price just for one roll. Zach Bossai says, the Amalgam is a lifetime game. It is. Once you play the Amalgam, you'll never need to play any other game again, because every game will be in there. It's like the same thing as that one roll that blocks like two rolls. Yeah, kind of. Ray says just include a vacuum chamber so you can flip the card without air resistance so it flips like a coin would. Yeah. You know, because vacuum chambers are like very easily manufactured, cheap, and like, you know, usable. Like most people can use them. They know how they work, and it's a common thing to have in your home. I agree. You know what? I'm moving it out of does not fit. Just kidding. I'm not. I'm not doing that. It does not fit. Sorry. We're moving on. Oh, okay. Okay, so I've just come across a roll here. It was made by Smile, right? And this is actually a start of a long list of rolls that was made by Smile. That was part of a document that they had. And I don't know if they've been updating this document or what, but because I haven't looked at it in a really long time. But they designed a roll for every, or at least most of, the major arcana from the tarot card set, from like the base tarot card set. Like they have like a roll for the Fool, the Magician, High Priestess, Empress, Emperor, and Hierophant, and they might have added more. But like I said, I haven't looked at that document in a really long time. But I think like with that might be a good place to wrap it up, like for this stream, because like then, you know, next time I talk about rolls, I can start with this tarot set. Because like this is a whole series right here, and I can check that document and like add the stuff that has been updated from that document if Smile has added anything else. But really quickly, I'll give my 2 cents on the entire tarot like branding of these cards, because I don't know, I feel like I want to. as far as like basing cards off of a tarot deck or like a theme in general, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. I think the main issue with having a theme, like a running theme along several cards, is that if you add one, people are going to expect that the others are either in the game or will be coming eventually, right? Like that like they will be added further down the line, you know? Like just because they're meant to be part of a set. And like, I'm totally down for adding that many roles, but I don't know if all of Smile's roles are good yet because I haven't like looked at them like thoroughly, you know? Like I looked at them thoroughly when I first read them, but like I haven't looked at them thoroughly now. So like I don't know if all of them would be worthy for like every single one of them would need to like qualify for the expansion pack, and then at that point that's like a ton of cards because the tarot set, how many major arcana are there? You know, there's quite a few. Alex says you could make a game mode that's only tarot cards if Smile ever finishes the series too. That's not a bad idea. Like if the tarot series was like really its own thing, like maybe even its own expansion pack. Oh, because Dat Math Boy says there's 22 major arcana. Yeah, like in the fan made expansion, I'm planning on adding between 25 and 50 rolls. So like that's already almost an entire expansion, like just the major arcana, right? And that's not even including if Smile were to do anything with the minor arcana or the lesser arcana. So like, if I were to add these, like I would probably have to add them all in some special way. But like I said, I don't know if all of these roles are worthy yet. And, the thing is, if most of them or if some of them are worthy, I could take those and use them still. But I would probably have to come up with a few myself just to fill in the gaps. And I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know if Smile has finished this series or not. If they have, really cool. So far, there's only 7. Oh, so the 7 I have written here are the only 7 then? That might make sense. Because I have... Wait, I have Fool, Magician, High Priestess, Empress, Emperor, Hierophant. Oh, I'm missing one? Oh, wait, no, wait. Fool, Magician, High Priestess, Empress, Emperor, Hierophant. I am missing one. Okay, so Smile definitely updated the document then. I'll have to look at that and add the rest of them to my document. And I'll look at that next time. That'll be the plan. Next time I will start with I'll start by going over that document, and we'll just go down the list from there. And maybe next time I'll even have someone else with me. I'll be honest. I don't even know if any of my friends who were part of the development of this game would be like interested in talking about fan-made roles with me, but if they are, I'll be sure to get them in here and we'll talk about them together, and then yeah, we'd have more people to bounce off of. Alex says, so now you get to play The Binding of Isaac, right? Maybe in a different stream. I actually am a pretty big fan of The Binding of Isaac. I mean, in fact, like I have it on my Switch. I'm sure you saw that when we were playing Jackbox earlier. And I've made it pretty far, but I'm nowhere near like an expert at The Binding of Isaac. I've made it a decent way. I've unlocked almost all of the tainted characters, and like I've almost completely completed all of the normal characters, but I still have a long way to go, and I'm nowhere even close to getting the triple save file achievement or whatever the heck. Whatever. Maybe a different stream. I'll play The Binding of Isaac for funsies. but yeah, I think that will wrap it. I think that will wrap it up for today. That will conclude it. Um, I do want to thank you guys. I want to thank everyone in the chat. I want to thank everyone who has been in the chat who couldn't stay till the end, and I want to thank people who will end up watching this on the YouTube channel. Just because I do plan to pretty much upload this entire thing in full to the YouTube channel, because like, you know, this will be a podcast episode. Like, people are gonna listen to this basically exactly how it is. So yeah, but no, that is the end. That is the end for this episode. Oh my gosh, I love these emojis so much. I know nothing about Twitch, so like, oh my gosh, these are incredible. This dancing dinosaur is the cutest thing I've ever seen. All right. But yeah, like I said, maybe next time I'll have someone else here with me. Um, and next time, yeah, next time we'll just pick up right where we left off by talking about the set of tarot rules that Smile came up with. Hopefully, Smile sees the VOD of this and reacts to it, or says something in the Discord later. All right, everyone. Yeah, it's been cool. It's been really good. Thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to end the stream, and I'll see you guys, or I'll talk to you guys whenever the next video or whatever happens. See you next week. See ya. See ya. See ya. Bye. Bye. Ending the stream. Bye.